Now, let me see. Wait for it to give me the live signal. And there we go. You're live.
Wow.
The whole vibe changes once we go live.
Yeah, we have to be, what's the word? Professional now.
But yeah. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes to get into the stream before we officially get started. But yeah, welcome to the Moral Arc Roundtable discussion. You guys, I know, yeah, some of you guys,
everybody.
Yeah, some of you guys have been waiting for this for a while.
I'm just
Waiting for
I'm
this
just
since
trying to
last week.
share the stream out on everywhere, so that way we can get more people in here. Want to get it popping?
Yeah, very excited for this. But yeah, if you guys hear that voice, that is Salajin. I just call him by Sal the Sayian because I'm terrible with pronunciation.
You're fine.
But some of you guys actually may know him because some of you guys are subscribers from back when I was in the Dragon Ball network. That's how I met Sal.
Yeah, that was a dude. That was what, maybe
years ago.
a year and a half ago, 2 years, almost 2 years now. I think 2 years in February.
Yeah,
It'll be some time.
it feels like forever ago. To me, had the Morg even started. I think the Morg had just began when Dragon Ball Network was going on. Yeah, it's right around there.
And it's still going strong. I mean, I'm not involved really. I mean, I help a little bit with some just kind of like ideas and stuff, and behind the scenes, but I'm not involved as far as like an actual role. And they're still going. They got Dragon Ball GT Abridged, going. It's awesome. It's awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my phone is so glitched right now because I'm trying to tweet out. So I'm
just trying. I'm gonna share on my community tab right now the stream, so that way. I mean, I don't know how many people are gonna come on the community tab, but hey, more people the better.
Yeah, and I know there's gonna be a decent amount of people who also listen to this after the stream, when they have time. So, hey, it just it is what it is. But yeah, so guys, we'll get started in just a sec. But yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well. For those who are here, happy holidays, early Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we're doing a Morarch roundtable. So we'll get started in just maybe about one more minute.
We'll get started, man. Just gotta give the folks a second to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think so on the screen right now, I'm watching the stream. I see your screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep. All right.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So what's I just we have a comment already from JD. Says, I wish Moro got reincarnated like Kid Buu. It really seemed that Goku had a soft spot for Moro, with all the other panels dedicated to Goku powering down to talk to Moro after MUI. That'd actually be kind of interesting. But Moro, the difference between Moro and Kid Buu was Kid Buu had no conscience. He was just all power, so Goku was interested in that power. But there was no personality, no soul there, really. Where Moro had a soul, it was just an evil soul. So, to me, it works better with Kid Buu, because you can take that power and put it into a good person. But with Moro, it's kind of that's an evil soul. It's a bit of a longer process. And since they already did that with Kid Buu, I don't think it would be as effective if they did it twice, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, definitely. For me personally, I'm not as big a fan of Moro. In terms of just his as a villain, really. Kind of the second he started acting like a little pussy when Goku, when the rock fell on him and he couldn't get up. That was the moment where I was like, okay, I'm kind of done on this guy. He he felt more like a generic villain. Like he did, I don't know. I feel like I might be in the minority in that category. But I'm just not big a fan of Mora, and the idea of him getting reincarnated, I'm just like, not really, not really there, not really feeling it. But definitely, I know there's gonna be people that disagree with me, and that's okay, But in terms of Mora being reincarnated, not really feeling that.
Right. Well, he brings up a good point in his second comment where he talks about the kind of Buddhist idea of reincarnation, and that's a big obviously Dragon Ball does. I mean, yes, it takes some Buddhist concepts, but really it's more of it takes a lot of Taoist beliefs. If you really look into that, but yes, that is true, and you would if you got reincarnated, you would have your soul purified and whatnot. But I feel like Moro isn't really, to me, I don't think he's worthy of it. Or Kid Buu, we saw in Fat Buu that there could potentially be some good there.
Hmm.
And here it's different. It's this is an actual bad guy he's irredeemable, and obviously yes, you can reincarnate and make him a good guy.
Hmm.
Oh, my ROM says there is an echo. It might be me. I don't know who's echoing.
Let me check that real quick.
I do hear something in the background for somebody.
Is it me, you think?
I don't know. I hear a woman talking. I'm not looking at the audio. It sounds like a TV or something too. Maybe.
Maybe the TV in the background.
I don't hear it now. Is it me? Do I sound fine? No, I hear it right now. It sounds like someone's in the background.
I think it might be me.
I was telling Fitzmonk earlier that sorry in advance if you pick up any background noise, because I live in a small apartment.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, I just made it in here.
There he is.
Symbioid.
Symbioid. The most controversial guy I know.
Apologies for the late, entrance and all, because where I live right now, it's like 4:52, so.
Like AM?
Yeah, so it's like the afternoon right now.
Right. Oh my god.
That's not good, bro. Oh, what's up, Sal?
You're on the West Coast.
What's up, Brain? Yeah, I'm on the West Coast.
I thought you meant AM. I was like, wait, what? But yeah, okay, West Coast.
I'm on the West Coast.
I was about to lose it.
Dude's in like China.
Yeah. But yeah,
I'm all the way out here in the West Coast.
Yeah, but we're about to really get started. So, but yeah, so yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka GLauren33. Welcome back to the channel, yo. No matter if you're watching this live or if you guys are watching this later after the stream, thank you guys so very much for joining us. Before we get started, happy holidays, guys. Merry Christmas. But some of you guys knew this was coming for a while. I told Sal about this months ago because we had no idea when
3 months ago.
Yeah, because we had no idea when the Moro saga was gonna end. But we are doing a Moro arc kind of roundtable discussion. We are gonna be talking about the entire Moro arc from start to finish. And we'll see how long it takes. But either way, we're gonna be talking about it. We got three really cool guests here today. One of the guys or may know, Salajin, aka Sal the Sayian, right? He is an up and coming YouTuber. He posts his really great Dragon Ball content. Like, I love his discussion videos. I know a lot of you guys are subscribed to me would enjoy it as well. I've left a link down below to his channel. So if you guys want to go check him out, subscribe. He just hit 5K. What was it, like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I hit 5K 2 weeks ago, and now we're already at 5,300.
Exactly. So
I'm having the best stretch of my YouTube career right now as far as growth, and I'm hoping 2021 go way further. I want to get to, like, right now, I think I can get at least 10K by the end of next year. I'm thinking more though.
Definitely. Then I think you're gonna get there, man, because his content, it's actually really, really good. He does have some, maybe some controversial opinions, right? I joke with him a
Well,
lot about.
that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, definitely. I joke with him a lot on Dragon Ball GT, but you know, definitely
yeah,
go check him out. Follow him on Twitter, subscribe to his channel, man. No, let's get this guy to
appreciate
6K
it.
as soon as possible. Uh,
Appreciate it, man.
yeah, I also got two of my bros. We met in actually Danny's Discord, but I talk to him, almost every day about Dragon Ball and other things. I got my bro Symbioid. Symbioid, say what's up to the people real quick.
What's up, you guys? How are you all?
Doing well, doing well. And I got my other bro, Madoshi. Hopefully I'm saying it right. I'm saying your name right, right?
Yeah, you're all good, man. Hey, what's up, everyone?
I'm terrible with
Babidi, right?
pronunciation.
Madoshi Babidi.
Yep, I got it from Bobby.
There you go.
Definitely. So the way we're gonna have it, like I said, we're gonna go through the entire Moro saga. I'm gonna have the panels on the screen as we discuss it. So whenever we're talking about a certain chapter or a certain moment, I'll have it so you guys can, so it can remind you guys, what happened and all that good stuff. But before we get into it, I'm gonna ask each one of my fellow guests, what was their overall thoughts on the Moro Saga? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Right? And then that will help us get started because we're going to start from the beginning. But yeah, what did you guys think of the Moro Saga?
I'll let somebody go first.
I thought it was alright. I mean, it wasn't the best. In my opinion, it's not the best. The best that Super has been. I think, in my honest opinion, the best Super has been in the Tournament of Power and the Broly movie. But after that, I felt like they just wanted to get to Ultra Instinct already, and they crammed so much in the saga that it felt dragged on. But then again, Super releases like once a month, so the beginning of the saga was good. It had good build-ups, but there were hiccups here and there. The Goku giving Moro Sensu, that was just, in my opinion, that was ridiculous. But it was really cool to see Toyotaro give light to Vegeta, make him very important. But it was very, disappointing to see him just shove off to the side as an assist. So there were cool ideas. In my opinion, they weren't really executed that well. But there was definitely something there. I just wish it could have been done a bit better.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And we're gonna get into all of that, but I want to let the other two guests go first.
I'll let Madoshi go.
Sweet. All right. Now, my thoughts on the arc. Overall, I really liked it. It's been my favorite story told since Battle of Gods in the modern era of Dragon Ball. This is everything I wish modern Dragon Ball is or can be. I think Toyotaro is going in the right direction of this. I hope he gets some more creative liberties going forward. And although there was stuff I didn't really like at first, going back and rereading it before the stream, I noticed that a lot of them didn't bother me as much because I wasn't spending like a whole month dwelling on those things that the characters did in the story. So yeah, overall, I'd give it like a 2 thumbs up out of 10. Yeah, it was pretty good arc. I liked it a lot.
You said
Yeah,
two thumbs up out of 10.
Yeah, 2 whole thumbs up.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I got a little confused there for a sec. All right. But yeah, Sal, you go.
Well, okay. I'm a little bit more on Madoshi's side on this. I feel like this arc, to me, yes, it has issues. And Dragon Ball Super as a whole will always have issues that Dragon Ball Z didn't have or Dragon Ball didn't have because obviously it's not past the end of Z. So watching it, you're not going to have that same tension. And that's the thing that I think everybody's kind of aware of. But in terms of what the Dragon Ball Super story will be and all the limitations, I feel like the story was not perfect, but I felt it was the best story we got because in terms of the Tournament of Power, for example, the Tournament of Power to me is fun, especially in the anime. But it's fun. It's not a to me, it's just more fights. It's entirely thriving off of fights where the Moro arc is kind of going off of a narrative, and the Future Trunks arc tried to do that, but to me, it failed in a lot of ways, especially with the ending. It started off really strong, even the middle part really strong. It just kind of fell off a cliff at the end. This didn't really do that for me. This kind of stayed like not as strong in the beginning as the Future Trunks arc, but it was like solid all the way through. It had a few issues. You got that sensu bean thing. There's a few things that Vegeta said here and there that I thought were kind of whack, like him saying that he wants to defeat Kakarot and that's why he's going to train. Like that stuff is off to me, but overall, I thought this arc was pretty much the best I could expect from modern Dragon Ball, especially with Taro at the helm. It's not like we don't have a prime Toriyama here from 1992. We have Toyotaro with a Toriyama helping him that doesn't really care about Dragon Ball. He's in it for the paycheck. So I think this is about the best we can get. And if Dragon Ball Super stays with this quality of writing and action and artwork, I'm going to be happy and excited for what's to come. It's not going to be as good as Dragon Ball Z, and I don't think it ever will be, but it's still really enjoyable to me, and I like this arc.
Yeah, definitely. I think I share an opinion very similar to you guys. I think this was the best story we've seen in Dragon Ball for modern day Dragon Ball. Of course, especially Dragon Ball Super. My personal favorite story is the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, but that's a more of a movie, not like a big story. If it was put in the manga, it would be nowhere near as long as the Moro Saga. So as an arc, as a full length arc, this was easily, I believe, the best thing out of modern day Dragon Ball. It wasn't perfect, right? Dragon Ball Super is kind of lighthearted, especially knowing, with the Dragon Balls out there and, knowing that they haven't passed the end of Z, right? And knowing that, everyone survives really at the end of the day to still tell a compelling story in my way, in my opinion, it's, definitely, I think they did a good job with it. There are some things that still bug me, like the Goku giving Moro sensu mean decision, some of the bad dialogue from Piccolo. I'm not the biggest fan of Moro as a villain, because I just, he felt a little generic to me in a way. But some things like I love Ultra Instinct. Even though we can argue if Goku should have mastered UI in this arc or not, I still love Ultra Instinct. I love Vegeta's character development for the most part, right? Especially him, thinking about all the bad decisions he made, like slaughtering the Namekians on Namek, right? And him trying to make up for those acts. You know, this Vegeta's character growth is just amazing in this chapter. Them finding ways to include more of the Z fighters, even though I'm still kind of angry that we never get to see Goten and Trunks in action. You know, and I love Mirrors as a character as well. I really, I even though I felt like they could have explored the relationship between Goku and Mirrors a little bit more. Uh, still, I loved him as a character overall. But for the most part, even though there are some things I disliked, for the most part, this was the best art that DBS has produced us so far, and kind of especially with the way it ended and the events of this arc going straight into granola, it makes me more excited for the future, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I did enjoy the Moro saga for the most part, and that's mainly what we're going to talk about. Like I said, we are going to go through the entire Moro saga, no matter how long it takes. But we're gonna start at the beginning, right? The tail end of Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 42. I have a theory. I personally believe, and I have no proof, or I'm not gonna say I don't have no proof. Like, this is not confirmation. This is not official. I kind of believe that the Moro arc starts like right after the Broly movie. So when you see Goku instant transmit away from Vampa, my theory is that Goku instant transmit right to Earth to train with Vegeta. Like I said, I don't have any confirmation of this. That's just something, a theory I have. I feel like that would be really cool if that was actually the case. But maybe we'll find out when the anime comes back. But we know that the Moro arc starts with Goku and Vegeta training in the in Vegeta's chamber, and then Bulma tells him that something's going on at Hercules' place, and that's where we meet Mirrors for the first time as the Galactic Patrol are trying to take uh, Boo away, right? So first thing I'm gonna ask you guys, right? When you guys first met Mirrors, right? Did I know there was a lot of hints, right? Now we know that Mirrors is an angel, but when we first met Mirrors, did you guys think that he was an angel? What was your first thoughts on him? Your first impressions, because we get to know him a lot throughout the arc. But what's your first impressions on Mirrors as a character?
My first impression of Mirrors, I thought he was actually pretty cool. When they first showed him off, I thought he had a cool design from the get go. He didn't look like a regular Galactic Patrolman. There was something very Whis like about him. I think what gave it away in that certain chapter for some, if they like figured it, from there on out, was how he was able to get behind Goku and Vegeta so quick. And to see a character like that this early, like in the saga and not later on, was something that I felt was much more intriguing. I originally it should have been like maybe Jocko going to get Majin Buu, but to see someone else besides him coming to Earth, looking for Majin Buu, explaining everything was, in my opinion, was a better thing. One of the better things in that whole saga. And I also do like how they kept it shrouded in mystery, even though there was a lot of hints that he could be an angel, although he was. They kept it in mystery for the most time.
All right, cool. All right, I'll next. If Sal, do you want to go first or?
Yeah. So when I first saw Mirrors, okay, most people were like, "Oh, who is this guy? So interesting." I was like, "What? Who are you? And like, where do you come? Like, the nerve you have to go behind Goku and Vegeta and get them like that?" Because I was kind of like offended. I'm like, Goku and Vegeta are so strong. Who is this guy who's a galactic patrolman to come out of nowhere and beat them with a stun gun? I was like mad about this at first. Then obviously, in hindsight, it makes perfect sense. I realized who Mirrors was, and I saw what he was really capable of. At first, I was like, this is just a bad power scaling moment from Toyotaro. But as time went on, more chapters, I was like, oh, this guy's the real deal. Not a Toyotaro bad writing move.
Yeah, definitely. Did everyone go yet?
Nah, it's my turn now. Everyone take a seat. Madoshi's gonna lay down some facts about Mirrors.
All right.
So, so right off the bat, I just want to say Mirrors is my favorite new character to Dragon Ball. I love him. I think he's really cool. Nah, dude, he's rad. He has a bowl cut. He has a bowl cut, my guy.
There's no cap.
And Sal, I remember I like what you were saying about like the whole power scaling thing, because I remember when this chapter first dropped, people were like, "Oh, more Dragon Ball Super power scaling!" Oh, people were getting all upset about it, and it never really bothered me. I thought he was just a cool dude. And rereading the arc, I really appreciate all the hints that that Toyotaro dropped, and it made me love him even more. This guy's dope. I just wish, what if the anime ever comes back? I hope we get some more scenes exploring him and Goku's relationship, because I feel like that could have been fleshed out a bit more. But overall, I really liked him. I liked his story, and I thought he was a dope guy.
I agree with Madoshi. I hope when the anime returns, they actually expand the whole training with Mirrors. I really wanted to see more of their dynamic, because it seems that they really got along with each other.
Yeah.
So him being Goku's new teacher, seeing him train him and teaching him Ultra Instinct was an accomplishment of its own. So hopefully, when the anime returns, it does it justice.
Yeah.
Right, especially when it comes to Goku learning Omen, because that's something that it's not a big reveal. Like when when Goku goes to fight Moro, he goes right into Omen, so it's not really something that like we needed to be shocked at. We could see Goku learn how to tap into Omen. I feel throughout his training with Mirrors, and I think that would be more effective because then it could be more understandable. Because a lot of people were mad about that, but if we have a little more context behind it, and also more importantly, see the relationship between Goku and Beerus be fleshed out a little bit more, because that was one thing I felt was a little bit lacking, where they should have added a little bit more to that, and I think that will make his sacrifice so much more worth it. And when Goku finally goes into Master Ultra Instinct, I think it'll make it so much better.
Yeah, definitely.
I completely agree.
Yeah. I love Mears as a character, and definitely when you see, especially the panel where Mears sacrifices himself, and then you see Goku's pupils like get all white, right? And then you see when Mears returns in Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 66, you see the panels of Goku's reaction. They made it a point to show Goku's reaction over those 2 pages, and then like you see like Goku's so happy that Mears is back. That time they spent together, even though we don't get to see a lot of it in the manga, it's clearly they got close. And to see, hopefully they expand on that, because some people got mad seeing Goku go Ultra Instinct Omen, against Moro right away. I kind of felt like that was gonna be kind of obvious. I didn't think you were gonna see Goku go, Super Saiyan Blue to go up against Moro. I felt like that was the obvious course, because they legit said that Goku was trained with mirrors to obtain, to master Ultra Instinct. So, like, I'm just like, come on. But yeah, I really did enjoy Mirrors as a character, and definitely I agree with all you guys. When the anime comes back, hopefully they flush it out a little bit more so people can, understand that relationship and why it meant so much to Goku, right, when Mirrors sacrificed himself. Even though, Dragon Ball and Death isn't as, I guess, important as it used to be, right, especially in Super, but still that sacrifice is meant to be, the turning point for our heroes. And hopefully it makes a lot more sense to people if they expand on it in the anime. But yeah, so once we meet Mirrors, right, we get the explanation about who Moro is, and we learn that Moro is over like 10 million years old, right, and the Daikao Shen was the one that sealed him up, and basically now he's escaped, all these millions of years later, because he was able to escape using the help of an old Frieza Force soldier, Cranberry, right? Which is kind of hilarious, but we see Goku tries to find Moro's key, and Goku is terrified because it's like Moro's key. He gets sense like hundreds of thousands of lost souls and people that Moro has, of course, eaten, with his planet eater abilities. So we go through it, and then we meet Moro. Well, Goku and Vegeta officially meet Moro in Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 44 on Namek. And I think the new Namek part of this arc is so underrated, especially since it came out nearly like 2 years ago, and we're so talking about what happened with the Moro arc now, and Goku with Ultra Instinct and and all that, which of course we'll get to. But going back and rereading, me and Madosi were talking about this, going back and rereading, especially the new Namek part of the arc, it does, it gave me a more of a I would say I appreciated more how good this arc actually was, because the new Namek part I feel is probably the best part of the arc. I know some people could disagree with me on this, but I love what they did here. And when we first meet Moro, of course, we see Vegeta. One of the best moments of this is when Moro is about to use Eska as like a, I guess, like bait, right? And then we see Vegeta actually save him, because Vegeta says, I did a huge disservice to the Namekians way back in the past. Clearly, he's talking about back in DBZ. We all know that brutal scene where Vegeta slaughters like a whole Namekian village when he goes to find one of the Dragon Balls. Vegeta, and the fact that we hear about Vegeta, he regrets his actions from all the way back then, right? After all these years, and remember, it's not like Vegeta just turned good. Vegeta had been a good guy since basically the end of the Buu saga, So, and we've had all these arcs throughout DBS. But the thing about it is, Vegeta still thinks about what he did in the past, and I love that here. So before we talk about the actual battles, right? I want to ask you guys, what did you guys think of Vegeta early on here, in the Moro arc, regretting his actions about what he did back on back on Namek all those years ago. My bad.
Vegeta atoning for his sins was actually one of the better things that I liked about the saga. it was a nice callback, especially them they're on Namek again. It really shows how far he's come as a character. When you look back in Dragon Ball, especially the Z portion, you look how ruthless, how evil he was, and how much he's changed through battle again. He's really now becoming a much more definite, favorable character. And that's one thing I'll say. Thank you to Toyotaro that they brought that up, even though fans in general have forgotten about that in a way. They didn't think that it was that much of importance, but to see Vegeta as a character care, that's great growth. And there's that's one thing that I think I like the most about Vegeta is that the character development is so good that they like they give so much focus to him, and you really can't. At the end of the day, even though he's a jobber, but at the end of the day, you can't hate the guy because the guy is doing his best, to get through everything and whatever whatever situation he's in, he gets himself out of it one way or another. Him and Goku both, but the difference between the both of them is Vegeta comes with baggage from his past sins and he atones for them. Goku never had baggage that way, although he does make mistakes here and there. The difference is one learns more than the other, in my opinion.
Very well said. All right, I'll take it from here. Vegeta. Vegeta in the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc. I really liked him in this portion of the story. I what the H was that? Someone joined the call. But all right. Sorry, I lost track. Okay. So right. I liked him in the beginning. I think the whole thing of him keeping it guys 20 years ago was dope. It Symbiote said, it really does show how far he's come from murdering civilizations, like having kids and saving little green guy. So yeah, I definitely think they're putting Vegeta in the right direction. I'm a little more mixed about how they handled him towards the ending of the arc. But so far during the new Namek portion of the story, I think I'm liking a lot.
Yeah, I personally thought that Vegeta, especially in the early parts of this arc, was really, to me, in the arc overall. I mean, yes, there were some things that I didn't like later on when they leave New Namek and he's going to Yardra and he says, I'm going to defeat Moro and then I'm going to defeat Kakarot. I'm not a fan of that stuff.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff with him, wanting to make things right, I thought that was excellent. I mean, I know Goku, and I was trying to explain to this. I made a video on my channel called Dear Vegeta Fan, where I was basically trying to explain to Vegeta fans who were mad about him not getting the kill that Goku, yes, Goku got the kill, but to me, Vegeta really was the one who stole the show in this arc. The fact that he's the one who is really taking it personally, whereas Goku is just doing it because Goku's trying to do the right thing or whatever, and he wants to fight Moro, that's fine. But Vegeta really has a personal vendetta against Moro, and he wants to do the right thing. Like, I did bad things to these Namekians. You're doing what I did, but I know that's wrong, and I'm going to make things right and avenge these people. To me, that is really interesting. And by Vegeta being able to contribute so much throughout this entire arc and to Moro's defeat, a lot of people trying to not really acknowledge that they would not have beaten Moro without Vegeta. Vegeta contributed almost as much as Goku.
Yeah, he was like the MVP.
He really was. It was his technique that allowed for them to win. If he didn't learn that technique, they wouldn't have won. So, to me, Vegeta was the star of this arc, even though Goku was the one who got the kill. If I was a Vegeta fan, and I am a Vegeta fan, but he's not my favorite character, I'd probably classify myself as a Gohan fan. But Vegeta, to me, if I was like Vegeta was my favorite character, I'd be really happy with how he was.
Yeah, he was the MVP.
Yep.
He was the MVP of the saga.
No question.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
just like Sal said, my only real issue is how like Vegeta will say something, he'll be like, "Wow, that's really interesting," and then he'll immediately follow it up by like, "And also, I want to beat Kakarot," and you're like, "Ah, there it is." Yeah, ruined it again.
It's like they have to put that line there.
Yeah, I'm glad
Yeah.
you mentioned that because that was also something that bothered me after he had finished training with the Yardreds. I thought Vegeta's character in that way would change as well. That he wouldn't just have tunnel vision, just in a way, just to beat Goku. That wasn't his only goal. And I thought, training with the Yardrats that had, probably men that side of him, make him more calm, make him more, much more less, quote, quote, angry. Give him a better head to be able to think and strategize during fighting.
Yeah, no, I think that was definitely a missed opportunity. But to me, Vegeta shouldn't be chasing Goku at all post Buu arc, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
After he acknowledged that Goku was number one, and that it's not just that Goku's number one, it's that Goku's methods for training were the reasons why Goku was number one. It's not like how the dub made it out, where they make it where it's Goku has Vegeta has a line in the dub where he goes, "Oh, you are born with a talent that I never had." That's not true. That's just not the way it is. Vegeta is naturally superior to Goku. The reason why Goku ends up being superior is because Goku's focus is just, let me go out there and just make myself as strong as I can be for me. Not, I'm going to go out there because I need to chase down Vegeta, and I'm not going to let Vegeta get stronger than me. I'm going to chase Vegeta. Vegeta's my target. Vegeta having Goku as his target, to me, at this point, still diminishes what he realized in the Buu arc.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he intentionally use a training method and use motivations that he knows are inferior? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, this is why I like GT Vegeta over Vegeta and Super, because there's this one line. This is one line that I really love where Vegeta's like, I'm no longer training to surpass Kakarot. I'm training because I'm genuinely curious of my own limits, and I really love that. And he's just a chill dude, doing whatever he wants to do. Yeah, that one. Because I rewatched it lately, and I'm like, man, he's like one of the best things about this show.
Exactly, and people seem to hate GT because of Vegeta, but they don't see it the way that we see it. They see it like, oh my god, he's not doing all these cool things. To me, I look at that stuff and I'm like, that's cooler than any techniques or power ups could ever be.
Hell yeah, GT Vegeta and GT Goten those two are the goats.
Yeah, GT Goten had total chill.
Yeah, GT had a lot of good things going for it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's really flawed. It's not perfect at all. I mean,
it's not the best, but it's enjoyable, honestly.
Yeah, people give it way too much.
And the music is great too. The OST is great.
Oh yeah, the Japanese version we're talking about though.
Of course, not the GT rap.
Yeah, if you've only seen GT dubbed, I would highly recommend going back and rewatching it in Japanese because that dub is so inaccurate.
Yeah, go out and find the original broadcast audio, and that's the best way to watch it.
Yeah, that's a good time.
You can watch GT in Japanese on Hulu. Have it subbed.
Oh, that's right.
You can. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It is on there for real.
For reals, it's actually on there in Japanese.
Oh wow.
Just a plug.
What up, Paul?
Let's give Paulo Costa the floor since he just joined.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Paul, good to see you, bro.
What's up, Paul?
Good to see you guys. Thanks for letting me on, Fist Monk.
Yeah, no problem. No problem, man. Love your opinions as well. But yeah, we're talking about the Moro saga, bro. So I know you have some strong opinions.
Yes, I do. You know me.
Yep, definitely.
He's an Ultra Instinct Goku fanboy.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
yep.
Full name, bro. Ultra Instinct Paul, man.
Yeah.
That's why Goku is the king.
Yeah, of course, I'm not gonna try to mark out yet, but definitely, yeah, we'll get the Ultra Instinct Goku because
We'll get there.
yeah,
We'll
that
get there.
I love that. But yeah, so after we see Vegeta and Goku confront Moro for the first time on Namek, that's where we meet, modern day Moro. We see him with the the James Harden gray beard, right? And He's an old man, but he is gaining more of his magic power, and we know that he's looking for the Namekian Dragon Balls, right? Because he wants to regain his youth and his full magical ability. And that's where we get to see I think, one of the most underrated fights of this arc. This was Vegeta versus Moro round one. We clearly see round two, later in the arc, chapter 61. But I feel like this is one of the most underrated fights in the entire arc. We get to see Vegeta use, Super Saiyan God, and Super Saiyan Blue evolution. Which was confirmed because there were some people saying, "Oh, Vegeta only used Super Saiyan Blue." Just go look at the colored editions, right? It was confirmed it was Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. All that it is the manga version of Evolution Blue is a little bit different than the anime version. That's all, but it's the same thing at the end of the day. But we see, Vegeta, is most mainly on defense for most of the fight because he's defending from Moro's magical abilities. And we see once he turns Super Saiyan Blue evolution, of course, he does take control. But before we go any forward, I want to ask you guys, Moro is what makes Moro different than all the other Dragon Ball villains we've seen is his magic, of course. He is strong from a martial arts ability, but the thing that separates him is his magical powers. And we get to see, a lot of that here on display. As the battle goes on, he absorbs Goku and Vegeta's energy without them knowing, right? And that's what actually, wins him the fight, even though at this point in the arc, Vegeta and Goku were still stronger in Super Saiyan Blue. So I want to ask you guys, what did you guys think of Moro when you first met him in terms of his magical powers? What was your thoughts on that?
I'll just let Paula go first.
Okay. So, I was gonna say, for me, I thought it was kind of exciting, right? Because we're just coming out of like the Tournament of Power and Broly and stuff, right? Where basically all our villains they're just strong. That's it. Like there's nothing else. It's just big guys, big muscles, and Goku and Vegeta beat them. But now we had Moro, using some magic and kind of using different tactics that we're not used to. I mean, well, maybe there is some villains that use similar things, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And we and I just feel like later in the arc they kind of wasted that with Moro. Like that was that was kind of the ultimate disappointment.
Yep, I
But
agree.
but this fight here is sort of where I think, at least in my head, that I kind of recognize, okay, this isn't a filler arc. Like Moro, he's the real deal. So like we're getting into something like this is the next big villain. This is the next Jiren or Broly or whatever. And I kind of wish they kept that momentum instead of having him freaking eat 7-3. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, to me, what made Moro really interesting, and this is throughout the entire arc, was that he always had something up his sleeve. We thought Vegeta was out strategizing him, like he pulled what Piccolo did against Cell, but Moro was able to one up him after that. Like he knew, I mean, he didn't know, but like he had a backup plan, and he always had something up his sleeve until the very end. Obviously, he really overestimated underestimated, I should say, the powers of Ultra Instinct that Mirrors had. Obviously, his body could have contained that, but till the very end, he always had a backup plan and always had something up his sleeve. And that is something that really not many other Dragon Ball villains have had that. It's kind of like Frieza's strategy was just, I'm going to kill people. He wasn't this master strategist. Cell wasn't a master strategist. Vegeta was, in a sense, but Vegeta was just good at getting out of tough situations. Moro, on the other hand, always had that backup plan, which I really appreciated, and I felt it made the arc in Moro as a villain much more interesting than, say, Jiren as an antagonist.
Mm-hmm. Madoshi?
Yeah, Mora. Okay, personality-wise, he isn't like the most complex. But yeah, just like you guys, I really appreciated that they set him up to be this guy who doesn't really rely on strength. He's more of like he's a magic wielder or a wizard or whatever. I really like that. His design is awesome. Well, his original design. I really like that old, feeble old man look. I thought that was really nice. And I think he has one of the best villain introductions in the franchise. When Goku is trying to sense for him, and he can tell that Goku's looking for his energy. I think that was like some of the coolest shit in Dragon Ball. And yeah, I just feel like later on in the arc, he just became your typical, like, oh, big strong guy. But for like the first, I'd say like for the first 3 quarters, he was pretty dope, but not like super interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah, I will say the same thing. I think he was interesting in the beginning, but towards the end, he became very generic. I did like his old man design as well. I think one of the coolest abilities that he had was he was able to sense Dragon Balls. He could sense where they were on Namek. He was literally a moving, dragon radar. And the fact that he was able to always have a plan, no matter what wall or corner he was up against, he always had a way to get himself out of it. And I think it became a meme at that point where he was like, "I still have my magic," and he would just, it was just a meme, where he would just pull up lava from the ground or use, the key of the planet and attack people with it. I really like that. I really like that he was able to use ki. He was able to get Genki instead of people. You would have to be willing to give someone your energy. He just took it by force, and that when he took Goku and Vegeta's energy on Namek, that was one of the best twists because that really put things into perspective. Like, hey, this isn't filler. This is an actual villain, and it made you wonder, like, oh crap, how are Goku and Vegeta gonna beat this guy? And when he defeats Goku and Vegeta, when he takes their energy from them and they look dead in that one panel, that to me solidified Moro. I was like, oh, this dude is awesome. And I was like, man, I hope he stays like this. He stays awesome like this. But then, as we go into the saga more down the road, he became generic. He got all buff. He became another buff generic villain. And I was just like, oh man, that really sucks. I wish they could have just expanded on his hacks abilities rather than giving him the old treatment. And I felt that is what would have made him memorable in the years to come. When people look back, they'll be like, "Oh, Moro, yeah, he was a freaking crazy wizard." But no, people are gonna remember him for being a generic buff goat.
I love how you said that. A generic.
I think it would have helped if he didn't lose his mind towards the end, like when he merged with the planet. I wasn't a fan of that either.
Oh yeah, when he like
Yeah,
he
he
looks
got
like a
all
crazy
pissed.
man.
Yeah, he got all pissed. It was like, you know what? I'm gonna take all of you down with me.
Right.
I don't even
Very
think he knew
sell
that. Like, I don't even think he knew that when he was about to blow up, or I don't even think he knew that when he blew up, the entire universe was going along with him. He was so obsessed with like freaking defeating Goku and taking Earth's energy at that point that he didn't think about anything else. Because the guy looks like a madman at the end of the arc. Like you have this intelligent villain who looks like a complete madman who can't think clearly at the end of the arc, and it's just like wow, from where we started, this is where he ends. It's just it's hilarious. But we'll talk about the finale a little bit later. But yeah, I love what you said, Symbiote, about some people thought the Motor was honestly gonna be like filler. They didn't think it was gonna be that long. They thought Goku and Vegeta were just gonna really handle this guy pretty quickly. It wouldn't be a long story. But yes, when and I got the panel on the screen right now, when Moro takes Goku and Vegeta's energy right for the first time on Namek. And the thing is, he did it easily. Moro says, like, you two were really never a threat to me, even though Goku and Vegeta were stronger. It's because Goku and Vegeta never thought about or didn't even know how dangerous Moro's magic was. And seeing that panel where Goku and Vegeta, they're like on the ground and they're almost dead. Moro could have just killed them right there. He left them alive to the point where the Namekians were able to save them. But that's when you knew, like, all right, this guy's an actual, he's an actual threat. And then he goes around, like, at the end of that same chapter, we see Goku and Vegeta recovering, but they're nowhere near enough, recover to actually go confront Moro. We see like all the Namekians, right? The super strong Namekians fuse together into this super strong warrior, and then Moro just impales the guy without even looking at him. He doesn't even get a chance to really throw a punch. Moro just impales him.
That's sick.
Like, it's just like, damn. So like, I feel like they did a really good job. Like, it's like freaking introducing this guy as a villain, but like later in the arc, I'm just like, all right, I hate you. Just die already. But yeah, I agree with what you all said. So of course, right, as Moro is collecting the Dragon Balls, and one thing we gotta remember is this doesn't all take place in a couple hours. This is taking place over the course of a couple days, a couple weeks. Like Bulma, there's promos of Bulma saying that Goku and Vegeta have been off planet for a couple weeks now, right? The Grand Elder tells Goku and Vegeta that, they've been recovering now for a while. And during that time, Moro is, of course, going around Namek causing chaos, killing people and stuff. So eventually, right, we see Goku and Vegeta, they do get back in action, but of course they don't have their energy, so they're really not able to do much against Moro. I do love, that panel where Vegeta says, "Oh, Goku, if I don't make it, do whatever you can to restoring Namek to normal." So that goes in more into Vegeta's character development, like we said. But another underrated moment in this arc, I think, is the return of Majin Buu. If you look through the course of Dragon Ball Super, Majin Buu, it's kind of like a running gag that whenever he's about to be used, he falls asleep. The Universe 6, Universe 7 tournament, he was supposed to be in the Tournament of Power, but he fell asleep there. And remember, we had the whole, like, skinny Majin Buu thing there for that episode where Goku goes to recruit him. So we don't get to see him, but we get reminded here that Majin Buu is actually one of the strongest of the Z fighters here when he goes up against Moro, and it's a really fun battle. We know Moro recognizes Majin Buu as the Daikao Shin who sealed him away, who sealed his magic, millions of years ago. And I personally think it's a very underrated battle because Buu absolutely just beats the bricks off this guy, right? Moro's not able to, impale him because of Moro's, because of Boo's weird figure. We see that Boo just beats the absolute dog crap out of this guy for most of a chapter, up until Moro has Cranberry use the Dragon Balls to restore his magic. So I'm gonna ask you guys, what did you guys think of Majin Buu here? Especially early in the arc, finally making his return to the battlefield for basically the first time since before the Tournament of Power when he fought in the exhibition match. What did you guys think of Majin Buu?
Well, in this continuity, he didn't even do that.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, there was not.
Manga continuity, he has not done a single thing since Beerus, when he fought Beerus and got destroyed. So I guess he fell asleep, for the Universe 6 arc. Actually, I think he failed the test in this continuity.
Yeah.
Basically, Boo, they really utilized Boo well, and obviously they didn't really use him to his full potential because they had him fall asleep again, which I don't understand. If he's falling asleep so easily, wouldn't it have been super convenient if he fell asleep during the Boo arc? I mean, I think it's just kind of like he falls asleep like every day for like 3-month-long periods. It's not really. I feel like it's a really bad plot device.
Yeah, and it's weird though because they have a scene in the Boo arc where Boo's like, "All right, I'm gonna go to sleep," and he literally wakes up 5 minutes later. So I don't see why now he keeps falling asleep for months at a time.
Exactly, it makes no sense. If that would have happened, it would have made things a lot easier. Gohan could have powered up to Ultimate Gohan and came back to Earth, and like Boo's still sleeping, so he's like, "All right, I guess I'll just wait for him to wake up." And then like would have fought that Boo, and then it would have been game over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's just kind of a plot device, in a way.
Right.
And kind of whenever they want to take Boo out of the story, just have him fall asleep.
I think it's because he's like unreasonably powerful. Like
Yeah.
he's effectively invincible.
Yeah, especially since I mean, I know this was anime exclusive, but when they introduced how strong he can get in such a short amount of time, how he literally went from he trained for one day and already went past base Goku, who is way above anything for the Bull.
Yeah.
One day. It's like, imagine if he was involved frequently, he'd be stronger than Goku, Vegeta, anybody.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah. So Moro Boo. While I wasn't a fan too much of him constantly going to sleep, I will say I got really excited when they brought up the whole Daikaioshin coming back, because that was something that was like briefly mentioned in Dragon Ball that we didn't really get to see much on. So getting to elaborate more on that, I thought was really good. And Boo versus Moro is definitely a highlight of that arc. It's so fun and wacky, and it feels so Toriyama. How Boo's just looking at the audience while his fists are still, punching Moro in the background. I thought that was great. It was really fun. And I think that whole stuff, that Daikaio coming back, I thought that was all great. And the stuff at the end, of course, was also really good too. And also, I just want to add on to the whole Moro thing from earlier. I really appreciate that. Unlike typical Dragon Ball villains, he didn't do the whole oh well, I'm just gonna they're unconscious, so I'm gonna act as if that they're already dead. But this time he had an actual tactical reason for leaving them alive. He wanted them to get stronger so he could eat their energy. I thought that was a lot. I think that was a nice spin on things.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Paul, did you go?
No, I mean honestly, seeing Boo back was pretty fun. Like again, like they said, the fight was super wacky, which I love wackiness in Dragon Ball. Um, the only thing that I would say is that I would have preferred if they brought Orale back instead of Boo. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, it's always cool to see these characters come back in different ways, and it was fun to see Boo. Again, I wish you could do more in the story from now on, but I don't know if that's their plan, or we'll have to see what the future holds.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Uh, as the fight with Boo and Moro goes on, I love seeing Boo back. And it's kind of crazy just seeing how strong he actually is because you forget that. And Sal said it best, just seeing Boo train for one day and he was stronger than base form Goku, and people forget how strong base form Goku actually is. Like that guy's an absolute beast. So it's crazy, but I love the way he was used. We when we see excuse me, when we see Boo, when he looks like he's performing the same technique that the Daikaioshin used to stop Moro's energy, right, or stop his magical power, right? Uh, we later come to find out that he can't do that because he doesn't have the God Key to perform that technique because it got sent to Kid Boo, which got sent to Oob. And like I said, we'll talk about Oob a little later on. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but that leads to Moro actually getting his wish granted, and we see Cranberry, right? Cranberry uses the Namekian Dragon Balls to wish one for him to be healed because he had to fight a bunch of the Namekians to actually get the last Dragon Ball. Then his second wish is to heal more or to give Moro his magic powers back. And we see once he gains those powers, he becomes much stronger. He's able to, head over to where Cranberry is in just a matter of seconds, right? Flying right past Goku and Vegeta. And then we see in another brutal shot, we see Moro actually impales Cranberry, and it just gives you that, like, what a dick, Moro is. This guy helped him with all his plans, and right as Cranberry was about to get his wish, Moro kills him. So we come to find out, Moro's third wish would be to free everyone from the galactic prison, right? But before that, of course, we got the battle in space, and we get to see more of Mirrors, who uses like a little net to bring Moro back down to Namek. And there were some people that thought this was gonna be the end of the arc because Goku and Vegeta say, "Hey, we could just use Super Saiyan Blue to beat him right here, right now," right? But that's not the way it goes. We see everyone from the galactic prison, and I'm getting the panel up on the screen right now, but we see everyone from the galactic prison come to Moro's aid. So Moro kind of has like a little army at his disposal. So I want to ask you guys, what did you guys think of Moro's third wish? What did you guys think of him freeing the galactic prison and then Moro forming this sort of army? Because the way I look at it, there's three parts of this arc. That when we see Moro form this army using those from the galactic prison, right? I feel like that's right where the first part of this arc ends. So, what do you guys think of the galactic prisoners, being freed and them joining Moro and Moro forming this sort of army?
Well, I personally, okay, so obviously there's two ways to look at this.
Mhm.
You can look at Moro's reasonings for doing this and Toyotaro's reasonings for doing this. Moro's reasonings for doing this to me are that he doesn't want to have to do all the dirty work himself. He wants to be able to conquer as many planets as possible, have everybody kill it, take the treasure, whatever they want, and then he's just going to eat the planet. So he doesn't have to go down there, deal with whatever fighters are there. Let these people do it for him. And also, it gives him more help. And obviously, well, I don't know if this is the case, but if he does know about 7-3, then maybe he has that idea already planted in his head before, he even has him copy his abilities. So Toyotaro's reasoning is obviously henchmen, because what Moro is not the type of villain that I feel is going to be able to carry an entire arc by himself, and that's not any offense to Moro. Frieza wasn't capable of doing that. Vegeta wasn't capable of doing that. Boo wasn't capable of doing that, and Cell wasn't capable of doing that either. There has not been a single villain or not in general, but like in the original Dragon Ball, most of them, or if not all of them, had henchmen, people under them, and people that could keep these side characters busy. That was, I think, the main objective. So I think Toyotaro wanted to give shine to characters like Piccolo, Gohan, Yamcha, even. All these characters got shine in this arc. I don't think you can complain about that. And the reason for that was because of these henchmen and the other prisoners. And obviously, 7-3, gave everybody a lot of trouble. But the whole objective, obviously, of this is to get those side characters some shine down the road, because they're not going to be able to hold a candle to Moro.
Yeah, I agree with Sal.
Yeah.
I agree with Sal. It was really interesting that his third wish would be to release the prisoners. I don't think nobody at that time predicted that would be the third wish. The prisoners, his goons, they had some of them had really cool designs, and the others were like, meh. There was the Zarbon ripoff. There was that, what was that one robot from Universe 6? His Universe 7 version? Yeah. That robot,
which he actually made an appearance in the latest chapter.
Yep.
Yeah, they all come back. Yeah, all of them come back, the ones who are alive at least. Salajin being the leader. They were cool for the most part, and I was happy that they introduced those characters, but I wish they were more unique. And what I mean by unique is I wish they all had their own types of special abilities. It really didn't help. I think it was in the next chapter when they arrive on Namek. It really doesn't help when Vegeta makes a comment like, "You're weak. My own son can take you." Because then it's like, well, how strong are these characters then? Are they really that weak? That means that Moro has to, power them up. I wish they were already strong on their own. That way, when the battle on Earth happens, each Z warrior has their own battle, and they have their own. It wasn't just a one shot by Goku, to defeat them. But that's more later. But yeah, they were cool. I just wish they were powerful on their own without Moro's help.
I mean, it's kind of hard, though, to do that, though, if you really think about it, because Goku and Vegeta, when you really think about how powerful they are, they're billions, arguably trillions times more stronger than they were in the Buu arc. So if you're going to just, throw characters in there that are coming out of nowhere, that can rival them, you know, that to me that actually creates more issues than anything, in my opinion, from a power scaling perspective.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. I was just thinking that it would have been cool at least that they were not so much power comparable to them, but at least enough to put up a decent fight, but in a sense where you know that they won't be able to win against them. But I don't know. I feel like that would have made the characters a little bit more interesting. I like what happens with them later on in the chapters, though.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Madoshi? Hey, Paul?
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I thought I said. All right. Cool. Yeah. Third wish. The third wish. Reading it month to month, I was like, this is pretty underwhelming. But rereading it, I was like, oh, that actually makes sense because like he's already pretty much immortal since he could just absorb life forces, and I don't really have much to say on the third wish. I feel like Sal already pretty much said my thoughts that the villains help the arc feel more interesting because Moro himself isn't interesting enough to carry the whole arc. That's pretty much where I stand. At first I thought it was underwhelming, but now I get it, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, if it was up to me, my third wish would have been to make Toyotaro a better writer, but whatever.
Bro, that would have been my first wish, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, villains they need henchmen. It's nothing new. To me, it's just like whatever. I do kind of like that. It does give a reason for the side characters to have somebody to fight that isn't the main villain, because we know that when it comes to the main villains, only Goku and Vegeta could ever handle them. So
Yeah,
they serve
true.
the purpose.
Yeah, definitely. So all right, so moving pretty quickly. So basically, we see Goku, Vegeta, and the Daikaushin. They're able to handle these henchmen pretty easily. The only thing is, Moro is absorbing their energy. Specifically, he's not absorbing energy from any of the his new henchmen. So very quickly, they go from Super Saiyan Blue to God. Goku goes to Super Saiyan 3. Then they go straight into their base forms. They're able to retransform the Super Saiyan, but by that time, they've lost too much energy, and it's really difficult. So now, as they're being overwhelmed, we see Mears and Jackal. They come in to make the save, right? And then we get more hints about Mears being this special person that he's able to fire a shot at Sir Gamble all the way on the ground, you know. But then we see as Goku and Vegeta escape, Vegeta goes on a nice little monologue talking about Moro and his magic and all that, and then we see Vegeta and Goku actually go in two different directions. And this is where we enter into what I believe is the second part of the arc, the middle part, right? Because I see this arc in three stages. So this is more like the training part of the arc. So we see Vegeta, he heads off to planet Yardrat, as Goku, he heads back to the Galactic Patrol, and eventually he heads off to train with Mirrors. I personally, I know I didn't, I never would have ever expected Vegeta to ever go to Planet Yardrat, but I absolutely love this. Goku going with Mirrors to try to obtain Ultra Instinct. That doesn't really surprise me much. But Vegeta going to Planet Yardrat to specifically, and I say this a lot. Vegeta specifically went to Planet Yardrat to gain a technique to defeat Moro. I felt like if this was Vegeta from DBZ, this would have been just Vegeta, Vegeta's pride would have taken over. I felt like he would have not done much and probably just went right back after Moro and probably got himself killed because, he's too prideful to admit defeat, a lot of the time in DBZ. But I personally love Vegeta going to Planet Yardrat, and I don't mind at all Goku going with Mirrors to train for Ultra Instinct. So my next question to you guys is, what did you guys think of Vegeta and Goku going separate ways, basically going on separate paths, in their own training to defeat Moro? What did you guys think of Vegeta going to Yardrat and Goku going with Mirrors to obtain Ultra Instinct?
Well, I really like
for me.
Start you go first.
Okay, yeah, thank you. For me, I genuinely love the idea of Goku and Vegeta finally doing their own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like finally Goku can, because we kind of heard this in the Tournament of Power, right? Vegeta was gonna attain power his own way, but now we get to actually see what that looks like, right? He's going to Yardrat. Goku's going to train with Beerus, and he's gonna go to to push Ultra Instinct to that next level to see how he can reach that level of the gods, right? So I think it's really good, especially for Goku and Vegeta, because for so long we've been conditioned to just see this quote unquote rivalry among them, where Goku gets a new level, Vegeta's just trying to constantly catch up to him, and like now the idea of them doing their own thing and having separate paths, becoming the greatest Saiyans that ever lived, or even they probably already are, arguably. I just think that's amazing. Like for once,
I agree with Paul.
Toyotaro does something good, man.
I agree with Paul. It was really nice to see Goku and Vegeta go on their separate paths when it came to training. But if I'm being honest, I don't know whose training I liked more. I can't tell if I like Vegeta's on Yardrat or Goku with mirrors. I feel like Goku's was a bit more okay, but it was finally good to see him train for Ultra Instinct. But with Vegeta, you get to see the whole world of the Yardrats in a way we never got to see before, not even in the original Z anime. We got to find out that there was not one but two races of the Yardrats, which I gotta point out that one of the races in the Yardrats from Super are actually from Dragon Ball Online. Those designs are recycled, so I really like that, and I really like that. This technique really came in the clutch towards the end, but that it was a reverse technique of Moro's in a way. And instead, he could take Moro's energy if he wanted to. It really solidified Vegeta as, being, the main ace in the hole. And I think that was something that I got to give, applause to Toyotaro, as much as it kills me. I got to give applause to him for that. Because, Vegeta fanboys always feel like their favorite character gets dumped on and stuff, but he was really a really good focus in the saga. So I hope going forward in Super, they continue to develop Vegeta's arsenal of power and abilities, so that way his don't match up or link with Goku's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, for me,
competitive stuff, to be honest.
yeah.
You guys, I don't know what else I could say.
Okay. Yeah, for me personally, them splitting up to do their own training was it was a big breath of fresh air, because I was getting tired of them let's go train, and then this is them punching each other for a bit, and then they're done training. But this time, they went and they did their own stuff. Personally, I prefer Vegeta stuff. What was that?
Oh, there was a bit of an echo there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, is it fine now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Go ahead.
Okay. Personally, I preferred Vegeta's training, because I feel like we didn't really get to see as much of Goku's, and I feel like I prefer the training where it's not just punching, where they're meditating and doing other kind of stuff like that. So I really liked Vegeta's when he's sitting on that little spike, just trying to meditate. I thought that was really fun. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the whole training stuff.
No, yeah, no. So basically, I really like that point you brought up with how they showed their training. Like Goku was really just sparring and stuff, and I guess that's the way to attain Ultra Instinct. But I got to get beat to my limit to get it to activate again. But to me, I felt like with Ultra Instinct, they should have put a little bit more of a focus on the meditation aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where Vegeta, that was all his training. It wasn't, I'm going to go get physically strong, because even if you go to his fight with Moro, Vegeta didn't get that much stronger. He just got so much mentally better, and his technique was so good. Whereas Goku got way, way more stronger. I think in terms of physical strength, even in regular Blue, I don't think there's much of a comparison between Goku and Vegeta. I think Goku got much stronger, but Vegeta's was more effective in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, at the end of their training, Goku, yes, had Omen, but Vegeta, by the end of their training, was able to do more against. Vegeta was able to do more against Moro than Goku was. Goku needed Mirrors to sacrifice himself to get to the point where he could beat Moro. So that was really impressive because Vegeta did do better in his training. He accomplished more, and he did better than Goku. I think that's a win for Vegeta, and Vegeta fans should be happy about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you know, you know, we'll get to the final battle with Moro in a little bit, but you said, you know, remember Goku got a lot stronger in Super Saiyan Blue during his training with Mirrors, even though it was focused on Ultra Instinct. But you know, some people say that Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution is stronger than Ultra Instinct Omen, right? Just because he was more successful in his fight. But it was more that Goku's Ultra Omen form had a weakness that, you know, that Moro was able to take advantage of. That's the way I view it. Plus, Vegeta had the spirit separation technique. But we'll talk about that, you know, in a little bit. But yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. I love how Goku and Vegeta went, you know, different ways to, you know, do their training. It was something different, and it also gives both, you know, the characters with something more unique. It makes them a little more unique in a way, right? It's not like, oh yeah, let's just train with one another and like you know, get our Super Saiyan Blue form stronger. Like, you know, that's I guess okay and all, but just seeing them on their own separate training journeys is something I love. You know, and I hope we see more of that in the future because I don't think Goku and Vegeta as a duo is going away anytime soon. But moving more into, you know, the second part of the arc, right? We see Moro's henchmen, right? They're going to a bunch of planets, you know, scouting out planets for Moro to devour with great treasures for them to take as well as Moro's getting stronger. We eventually see Moro's henchmen, or some of them, you know, they come to planet Earth, and that's where Jackal comes and explains what's going in. So Jackal comes to Earth to recruit Piccolo and some of the other Z fighters into the Galactic Patrol, and this is where we get, in my opinion, one of another underrated moment in this arc. Right? I don't know
My
which.
favorite.
Yeah,
To be
I don't
honest.
know. I don't know which one I want to talk about first, or maybe we'll talk about it all at the same time. I don't know if I'll let you guys decide if you know. Piccolo versus 7-3 and Gohan versus 7-3. Two of my favorite battles from this arc. I cannot wait to see this animated whenever DBS comes back. So yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there. You know, let me know what you guys thought of the whole Piccolo and Gohan versus 7-3 part of the arc.
Yeah, this was by far my favorite part of the arc, to be honest. And yes, I'm a Gohan fan. Piccolo is probably my third favorite character. So I like Gohan, Goku, and then Piccolo. To see Piccolo do what he did here, this was the most he's done since. Well, I mean, obviously he did have the fight against Frost, but he didn't really do much. He lost. But this was the most, besides that, he has done since his fight with Android 17, right? I mean, this was really impressive. The fight looked great. Then when he teamed up with Gohan and they were using actual coordinated strategies, like I wish we got a little bit more of that in the Tournament of Power. Like I know we got a little bit of anime, but in the manga we really didn't. It was awesome. I mean, Gohan did great, and people want to crap on Gohan because, oh, he's not as strong as Goku and all this stuff. Gohan is ridiculously powerful. Yes, Goku is more powerful, but people don't understand how strong Goku is, I think, when they try to tear down Gohan by saying, oh, he's not as strong as Goku. Goku's just extremely powerful. Gohan, though, this is different. Gohan is training. He's been consistently training. He just works and he does other things. He's really strong. I mean, but in the Tournament of Power arc, he did defeat Kefla. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can't. And everything here was awesome. I had no complaints. I mean, obviously, I'm a little bit biased here, and I try to not put bias in things as much as possible. I just thought this was one of the coolest parts. I was really geeking out when this came out.
Yeah, this fight was awesome. This is one of my favorite fights. I might like this more than the final fight in the arc. Not just how cool they looked, but I love that they're using like literal combo moves, which we rarely ever see in the series. There's a part where Gohan's Masenko combines with Piccolo's with his attack. They like swirl around each other and they do this whole cool thingy. It looks awesome. They're just doing things and they're both punching 7-3, and he gets into it. He becomes a giant. And I don't know. It's just really cool. I can't not geek out about this fight. It's just awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I have to agree with Madoshi. They really treated Gohan. They really treated Gohan good, and Piccolo as well. You know, their strategy. That's something that I agree as well that they were lacking in the Tournament of Power. You know, they weren't. You know, they weren't really fighting well together. They weren't really doing any of that. I really like that one part in the chapter where Gohan's able to create almost like a shield against
Yeah.
Masenko. And that's something that I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. That
Yeah.
Gohan could do that, and he throws it back at him. And you know, Gohan's confidence in this particular chapter didn't really bite him in the as it used to in the past. He really gave it all to 7-3 and then some. And you know, they only lost because of Moro's intervention at the end. So it really shows you how far Gohan's come in such a very long time that I don't think people really take, you know, notice because of Goku and Vegeta. But Gohan is ridiculously strong. He was able to go up against Kefla in the Tournament of Power, and you know that's a feat all of its own. And to see him now being more used in Super in the manga, well, I wish he was more used in the anime as well. But seeing Toyotarou use him and you know using him well, that's something that made me very happy. And I'm not much of a Gohan fan, but to see Gohan treated well in the Super manga was something that was very much welcome. So I'm very happy that you know Gohan and Piccolo both were able to protect Earth for you know for a good minute, but you know Moro came and intervened.
Yeah. Paul?
Well, I mean, you guys pretty much summed it up really well. You know, I love seeing the side characters, you know, have importance. You know, it's not just always about Goku and Vegeta. And you know, if you watch Dragon Ball Super, like the anime, you know it's usually Goku and Vegeta always. Like the Future Trunks arc was completely dominated by them. Uh, the Tournament of Power is obviously everybody, but I think it's fun to see everyone get, you know, some sort of participation in this arc. And you know, Gohan being as popular as he is amongst most of the Dragon Ball fans, same thing with Piccolo. It's always good. You know, remember Gohan is the son of the main character. Like he should be treated at a high level. He might not be as strong as Goku, but I mean they've always like beaten it over our heads, right? That Gohan has the most potential out of everyone. It's just that he refuses to use it, right? So, I mean, I was cool with this, man. The fight was awesome, and I hope they continue just, you know, giving Gohan that push. Same thing with Piccolo and all the side characters. You know, let's kind of change how we do things. Let's just not have it always be Goku and Vegeta. Even though I love Goku, and a lot of people love Vegeta, you know, we gotta change things up a little bit. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. One of my favorite panels, friggin' 7-3, he's using Piccolo's like powers to make the giant version of himself, and then Gohan's just flying around the battlefield trying to keep him, 7-3 from catching him. But then all of a sudden, Moro decides, and I love how Moro does or not Moro, what the hell am I saying? I love how Gohan does the Kamehameha wave with his left hand, right? Goku and the other characters usually do it with the right hand. Gohan usually does the Kamehameha wave with his left hand. I just love how he's just freaking like running up 7-3's arm, loading up a Kamehameha wave, and then even though 7-3 loses Piccolo's power right at that moment, he still fires it anyway. But I love that moment. It's just it's badass in my eyes. So I'm gonna move us on a little bit, right? Because because we still got a lot. We're about halfway through the arc at this point, so I'm gonna try to speed us along just a little bit. But we do see that basically the stage is almost set for the final battle, right? After 7-3 uses Moro's powers to basically save himself against Gohan and Piccolo, right? Moro decides that he will put Earth next on his menu for planets to consume, and he gives basically the Z Fighters 2 months, 2 months to prepare. Giving Goku and Vegeta time to finish off their training. So, like I said, a good amount of time actually, goes on during this arc. It's not a couple days or a couple weeks. It's actually a couple months that this arc lasts. So we see Goku, Vegeta. They continue their training, and then we get the reveal of Mirrors being an angel, right? So before we start talking about the final battle, just quickly, let me know, what did you guys think, because we speculated for a lot, especially during the beginning of this arc. There's a lot of people that took little panels and speculated that Mirrors could be an angel, right? But chapter 55 is where we get the actual confirmation that he is an angel, and we see Whis takes him back to Beerus's planet, because if Mirrors does anything else, right, he's endangering himself to be erased. So, what did you guys think of the reveal of Mirrors being an angel? We'll talk about that before we get into the final battle.
When they revealed Mirrors to be an angel, I was like, oh, okay, because it made like some of those other clues from earlier on in the arc make a lot more sense, and I think that was a really nice twist. Not just the fact that he was an angel, but specifically that he's an angel who wants to be immortal almost. And I thought that was a really nice twist. It's something really unique for Dragon Ball. And that's part of the reason why he's my favorite modern Dragon Ball character.
Yeah, I really loved the whole theme of an angel who is kind of rebelling against what he's born to do. And he cares so much for he spent time with the mortals to learn, and then they grew on him, and he's like, wow, this is something worth protecting, and he is going against what he's created to do this, and he's trying to stay within the rules as much as he can, and later on, he's kind of forced to not, but I really love the entire theme, and I agree that Mirrors probably is the best written new Dragon Ball, modern Dragon Ball character, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with what Sal said, when he mentioned how, Mirrors came, with inspiration, love and care for, the universe for 7 and for the mortals he was working with. That's kind of like an opposite of what Zamasu was in the Future Trunks saga. Zamasu hated mortals. He wanted to exterminate them.
Two sides
Whereas
of the same
Mirrors, Mirrors grew to, care about them and want to protect them. I really like that parallel, and I'm really glad they did that in this saga particularly. And I agree as well with Sal. Mirrors is one of the best written characters in Super. There's a lot of depth to him, and speaking of depth, when he's training with Goku, I think that's another reason why Goku grew to care about Mirrors and their friendship, because Mirrors was able to talk to Goku about himself and acknowledge, his all the achievements he's done, and bring into perspective, like, hey, you fight to protect the Earth and the universe in a way, but Goku never saw it that way. He just liked fighting. He gave depth to his fighting. He gave it a purpose in a way. He shed light on, Goku's, natural goals. And Goku, in the end was like, well, I never really saw it like that. I just always want to fight strong people. But Mirrors was like, well, in a way, you're serving justice. You're protecting people, and that's that's what Galactic Patrolmen do. But when Mirrors was announced as an angel, I was kind of like, that made the most sense. And it was really interesting that Vegeta was the only one that kind of figured it out a little bit first before everyone else. Vegeta noticed his movements, but didn't really, expand upon it. But he kept notice of that. And I think that's something that's also underrated, is that Vegeta was able to notice that about Mirrors. He was able to notice that, his movements, his speed, his agility was similar to Ultra Instinct in a way. And I don't think Goku could make that connection. That shows you how different Goku and Vegeta are as fighters.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I don't know. I mean, I actually personally don't like that, how Vegeta is able to make that connection where Goku isn't, because I personally feel like, and obviously, in Dragon Ball Super in general, Toyotaro and even Toei and Toriyama, they've kind of dumbed down Goku a bit. I feel like the Goku of the Buu arc is superior to Vegeta in terms of his fighting knowledge. Vegeta might be way more smarter in terms of, you know, everything else, but Goku, to me, would be able to figure out a combat style way easily, or that's not even a word, way easier than Vegeta would, in my opinion. I don't really like that, to be honest.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with Sal there. I mean, it probably should have been the other way around. You know, Goku's somebody who's been basically training his entire life, right? Like, you would think that he'd notice, like, hey, there's something about this Beerus guy, huh? Like, he doesn't really seem like a, you know, a weakling. So,
Right. Especially since Goku has such familiarity with Ultra Instinct.
exactly, yeah.
Yep.
He's had the experience.
You know, this is a really interesting discussion because there's like certain things like this. I didn't really like think about this like before I had this discussion with you guys. So like, I'm really appreciating this discussion. I'm having a good time.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, for real. It's really fun to look back on. Fucking. I just thought it was interesting that Toyotaro picked Vegeta. You know, something's up with that mirror. But you're right. It should have been Goku, especially since the movements are similar to, you know, Ultra Instinct Omen.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, this I gotta agree with Sal. This is a quick side thing, but I personally believe that Buu Saga, DBZ Kai, or manga, Goku is the best Goku. I feel like that should have been the standard of Goku going forward in the DBS. Goku is sometimes, a little kid, a man child in DBS. I don't like that he's written like that, like Ultra. It's one of the reasons why I love Ultra Instinct Goku so much, because he's just a badass. You know what I mean? He doesn't. When Goku's using Ultra Instinct, you don't really see that man child in him. You just see a badass fighter getting the job done most of the time. But I wish Goku was written very similar to how he was in the Buu Saga of the manga or DBZ Kai. That's one of the reasons why I tell people all the time to go watch DBZ Kai. People that watch the English dub of DBZ, it's just like that's not that's not really the way. There's a lot of errors in that. You know, uh, but yeah,
JD
yeah,
has JD asked if we could answer some of his questions, but maybe we should take a look or some of his comments.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he was talking about Ultra Instinct. He was actually saying some interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
I haven't really been looking at the chat.
I'm not exactly sure what his idea is here. Oh, well, he did say they should adapt the What If story from Supersonic Warriors where Piccolo fuses King Piccolo. That's kind of whack.
Hey,
That might be funny.
I think honestly, what could be really cool is like they're looking to do this whole big Dragon Ball expansion thing with the website
Right.
and all
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
If they did like not anime, but like if they had like mangas doing what ifs, you have some people like okay, you guys know how popular what ifs are on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, like if me and Fitz started doing what if videos, we'd be at 50K subs by the end of the month.
Yep.
I think they're really sitting on a gold mine by not doing what ifs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. To me, I don't know. The thing is, like, I would love to do what ifs, but I feel like it's just kind of like not something I'm like too into. And plus, like, I feel like if you do like a few of them, then you kind of have to only do them.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to like do a what. Like, even if you look like people like Parthu and Smuxing, if they do a what if, it's going to do really well. And then do something that's not a what if, it won't do as well. And the people don't like they see them as the what if guy. And I don't want to be able to do like anything Dragon Ball because I like what ifs. It's just I don't want to only do what ifs.
Yeah, personally, when it comes to what ifs, I feel like if I'm gonna do a what if, right, it has to be on something that I can take a part of the story what if this happened? But I can see how it logically affects later parts of the story.
Exactly.
Like, I can't just say, like, what if, I don't know, what if Kefla used UI in the Tournament of Power, and like, I'm like, well, if she used UI in the Tournament of Power, she would have been the most overpowered character there, and there would have been nothing they could have did, right?
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
But
That's
to
why I don't
me,
like what ifs.
well, to me, like the best what ifs are the ones where it's not like, what if Vegeta turned Super Saiyan on Namek? Like to me, like stuff like that's interesting, but it's not as interesting as like, you know, what if a character made a different decision? Like how would that decision change the entire story? That to me is more interesting because that's not like,
You mean
okay,
like
let's change the power scaling. Like no, it's
Yeah.
like let's change a decision, like something really realistic.
Like, what if Goku
Yeah.
didn't give Cell a
That's a domino
sensu?
effect.
Something like that.
What happened?
Like, what if Goku didn't give Cell a sensu beam? Something like that.
Yeah, like something like that. That's a decision.
Yeah.
What if Goku
Or
didn't
like,
give Moro
what if
a
Goku
sensu
had
beam,
used,
bro?
Oh
Bro.
my gosh. We'll get to
or
that.
like, what
We'll
if
get there.
Goku had, or what if Goku had turned into Super Saiyan 3 versus Majin Vegeta?
Exactly. That's a really good what if.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What
Yep,
if Goku and
definitely.
Vegeta fused against Kid Buu, bro?
Oh my
That's
god.
another good one. Yeah. What if they had done Gogeta against Kid Buu?
I don't think much would change, to be honest. I think they would have probably
I think
killed
they would've
him
gotten worn
pretty
out.
fast,
Oh, they would have destroyed
and
him.
then they would have killed him pretty fast, and then maybe like Vegeta might not have come back to life, but I doubt it. I think they probably would have been like, all right, since we're wishing everybody back, like Vegeta, you're gonna get counted in here too. He still would have got counted in there. So to me,
Yeah.
like not much would really change. Goku probably wouldn't wish for Oob to be brought back as a good guy though. I don't think that would happen.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that would
probably
change
not.
a lot. I mean, but we don't know what it would change because they don't want to go past the damn end of Z. But that would change a lot in the Moro arc for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Or like, what
They
if
probably would have lost.
Yeah.
Kuririn blew up to 18? He would have stayed a virgin
Exactly.
forever.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst timeline.
Blew up his future wife. He would have never got married. But yeah.
Damn.
But definitely,
Yeah, when you think about it, actually, that's a good thing to think about, actually. Goku resurrecting, Kid Buu as an immortal was, if anything, the best decision he's ever made, actually. Without Oob, they probably wouldn't have beaten
they don't
Moro.
defeat Moro.
No, they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in hindsight, that wish was actually one of the best wishes they've made.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I didn't even think about that. More, yeah. Think
Yeah, like, think about it. That wish saved the universe.
Wow.
Wow.
And everybody thought it was just Goku being selfish, even though
Yeah, wanting to fight a strong guy again.
even though we know that's his true intentions, but hey, it ended up helping everybody.
Yeah, it really ended up helping everyone.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Honestly, Goku just has to be like the luckiest guy ever. Like,
Oh yeah.
every
Oh
decision
yeah.
he makes somehow turns out ends up working out for him, bro.
He's just a lucky dude.
Oh.
Honestly.
JD has a really good question.
What is it?
What are your guys' thoughts on why Goku didn't try to use the Hakai on Moro?
Because
He
we
didn't
forgot
listen.
about it.
Because didn't he use it on that rock right over Moro?
Well, it wasn't the Hakai, but it was just a technique. It was almost as if he just put his hand forward and destroyed it with force.
I mean, to me, the only reason why he didn't use it is because Toyotaro probably was like, I can't have Goku straight up erase Moro. Like, that would be
It would have
kinda
been too easy.
anticlimactic.
Would have been too
And I
easy.
guess if you're introducing techniques like that, that is the consequence to it. It was really cool in the Goku Black arc, and it worked because Zamasu was immortal.
Mm-hmm.
But in this situation, Moro is not immortal. They could have maybe done it in a situation where, since 7-3 can regenerate, they could have Moro regenerate like that. Even though I think his regeneration is a little more similar to Piccolo's, where if he got Hakai, I don't think he can come back.
Yeah.
Wait, so I have a question.
Yeah,
so
sure.
if if Goku would have used the Hakai, right, and he would have used the Hakai on Moro 7-3, would that have killed 7-3 too?
Oh yeah.
You see, that's the thing. I don't know because I think 7-3's regeneration is a bit different from Moro's regeneration. Like when Moro was regenerating, I think that was because he called it Piccolo's regeneration. I think he was using the ability that Piccolo had from 7-3, not 7-3's regeneration. Which to me, 7-3's regeneration is a little bit more like Cell's.
Yeah,
Come back from like a single spec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I saw
Didn't
7-3
Cell
come
also
back,
say
yeah.
he was regeneration?
Yeah, because when 7-3 came back, I was like, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but like, yeah, when I saw 7-3 come back, I was like, wait a minute, Piccolo can't do that, because we saw this dude Moro absolutely, he destroyed into a million pieces, and you thought 7-3 went with him, but it kind of makes sense, seeing that it looked like 7-3 was regenerating himself slowly, right? Because in the chapter, it told us that a couple months have passed since the Moro, battle. So it looked like probably 7-3 was regenerating slowly.
Well, no, that.
Or maybe no, that may have been a
It was only a few days.
few days. Yeah, my bad. A few days.
The
Yeah.
few months where after they took his head and they.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah, they made the clone.
thank you. So like, but yeah, still, it took a couple days for 7-3 to regenerate. It looked like just his head. So
Yeah.
So his it's definitely kind of similar to Cell, but probably a little bit different, right? But yeah. So and like going back to the Hakai question, I think it just would have been too easy because I felt like a lot of people thought Goku was going to use UI and then it would just been over, right? But they were able to expand it a whole 2 chapters with the finale, which ended up being really good. So I think that's why I felt like it would have been too easy for Goku just to use Hakai. Will Goku use the technique again in the future? Possibly. I would like to see him use it again. I feel like it's pretty cool to have that technique up your sleeve. Uh, but yeah. But we'll talk about Goku and Moro in the final battle in a little bit, right? Because we're getting into that right now. So
Also, just want to say,
yeah, of course.
how did Goku learn the Hakai in the manga? He's never seen Beerus done it. He's never seen Beerus do it before.
I think he learned it off screen explanation.
You mean off screen?
Goku's just like that, bro.
Yeah, he just pulled out of his ass.
Or either he thought maybe if I say the word Hakai it would work.
I think he may have explained that Reese taught him, but I don't remember.
I don't remember there ever being an explanation for that. He kind of just does though, which is cool. I mean, it's cool that he could do a God of Destruction attack, but it's also begs the question: when did he learn it?
It's just like Trunks being able to use a Spirit Bomb sword. It doesn't make sense, but it's cool. So let's just leave it at that.
It's like immediately mostly huh?
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving on into I would kind of call this Act 3 in a way, or maybe you could call this like the prelude to Act 3. So basically, we see this reminds me a lot of Avengers Endgame for those of you guys that watch Marvel movies, right? So before Goku and Vegeta arrive to the battlefield, which going to be for another couple chapters, we see the other side Z fighters, like we see Yamcha, Tia, and Chaozu. They make their return to the battlefield. This kind of gives me, like early DBZ Saiyan arc vibes, right? When Nappa and Vegeta first arrived to the planet, but there's you see they have the Galactic Patrol soldiers there as backup. You see Gohan, Piccolo, of course, who have been trained together. That's when we get to see those really cool combo moves. And we see also Krillin, Master Roshi, and Jakku there. So we see as Moro's henchmen, they go in different sections of the Earth to try to steal Earth's treasures. We get to see all the Z fighters, fight their own separate battles. So before we focus on, of course, what happens with Goku, Moro, Vegeta, that main final battle, what did you guys think of, all the other side characters getting, their own moments here, right? I love it. I love seeing Yamcha. The two things I love most about this part, I love seeing Yamcha, finally kick a little bit fast, and I kind of love the way that Krillin defeats Yumba using the Destructo Disc and then, forming the Kamehameha wave, right? But I want to ask you guys real quick. What did you guys think of the side characters and them getting their little mini battles here before the big final battle commences?
I loved it. I mean, obviously, getting everybody some shine, it was phenomenal. Honestly, you get characters like Gohan, Yamcha, Piccolo, androids came in at some point. It was really good. Even Chaozu. Chaozu got his first win ever.
Ever.
Ever. He's never gotten a single W. Go back to when he first was introduced. He lost to Krillin. He hasn't won since then. I mean, he hasn't won at all in this continuity, in an actual fight. So, I mean, you're giving Chaozu W's, like I gotta give it to Taro. I really like this part.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Everybody else?
Yeah, gotta give credit to freaking Toyotaro, man. He found something for the J Brones to do. Love to see it.
The J Bros. Yep.
Anytime the classic Dragon team get a chance to shine in modern Dragon Ball, I'm happy. Especially when it's done as creatively as it was, especially with Gohan and Piccolo with their whole fight. And I really like Yunba and Kuririn's. I wasn't too huge a fan of Roshi's, but I guess it was cool how Goku just came and defeated the big fat lady whose name I can't remember.
Yep. Symbiote, did you get to go?
Actually, it was really one of those better things seeing, everyone back together. It was a much better version of the fight in Resurrection F.
Yeah.
With the Z Warriors, everyone fighting free the soldiers. It's much more entertaining. Much more entertaining. And it's in the manga, so seeing Chao Sun Tien fight, seeing Yamcha back, that made me happy.
Love that.
Like, I was like, whoa, they brought Yamcha back? Oh crap, this Earth is really in trouble. We need the Jobber back. Like, that made me really happy. So it was really nice that they give a lot of love, to the Z Warriors. I wish that they could continue to go that route, giving them shine, giving them spotlight, but with the way how powerful Goku and Vegeta are, they're just gonna be, in the shadows, or they're gonna be set off to the side. But seeing them get love here, seeing them in their own battles was really, really, kudos to Toyotaro.
You know what? Real quick, before we move on, you know what I love about this is that there was so many people, in the Dragon Ball community, wondering, oh, are they gonna bring in Broly? Are they gonna bring in Frieza? Whatever, and and Toyotaro was just like, did you guys say Chaozu?
Oh, you guys want Yamcha?
Yeah, well, no new
You
characters.
meant this Broly, right? Yamcha?
Oh man, that's actually hilarious. Oh my gosh. But yeah.
I mean, if Broly was in the fight, it would just be a one-sided battle against him and the goons. I mean, he would have just plowed right through them. So.
Man, the only thing I'm gonna say about Broly is I want to see him in the granola arc. That's all. I'm a huge fan. I'm a mark for DBS Broly. Like Broly and Hit, I think personally are the two best characters that have come out of modern day DBS, like new characters. That's my opinion. No one has to agree with me, but yeah, that's the only thing I'm gonna say about Broly on this stream. Since we're talking about Moro, but yeah, seeing the Dragon team back, I love it. I just love when the focus isn't always on Goku and Vegeta, right? Even though they are the main cast, but it is time to get into the big final battle of this arc, and it takes some time. I have to load up the chapter right now, starting in with chapter 58. I don't know. Does anybody want to say anything about Sir Gambo? It did foreshadow, what would happen with Moro go a little bit later, right? When he tries to take Mears' power. Does anybody want to say anything about Sir Gambo, or do you guys wanted to skip over the UI Goku versus Moro?
I just wish it was alright.
Wait. We can't skip Goku versus Sagambo though, bro.
Then
That's
why I'm saying.
Sagambo was coming at him, bro. And Goku was like, yo, son, You're sturdy, but let me tell you something, bro. Sturdy ain't enough to beat me, bro. Bah!
Alpha shit.
That was an awesome fight, man.
In a way, that was kind of like this arc's version of Goku versus Nappa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
Or
nice.
Goku versus the Ginyu Force.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
Goku made. It was also a nice way to show how much more powerful Ultra Instinct has become since Goku trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How fast and how quick he was able to get around in Saganbo was just really cool.
Yeah.
Really good visual.
Yeah. People forget that Goku was using UI. He was using Omen during that part. When he first arrives to the main battle, he uses UI to attack Sargamo from behind. Goku also says that, he was hoping that he could defeat Moro right away, but I guess it won't be that simple, right? And then he uses Super Saiyan Blue, which is, of course, a much stronger version. Piccolo confirms that, and he's able to take out. Yeah.
Was he using Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan Complete Super Saiyan Blue?
I would think, yeah. He's had it mastered since the Goku Black Orc, so,
Yeah, Mastered Super Saiyan Blue.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
Isn't that kind of one of those things like Super Saiyan where like he's mastered it? So
Yeah, he's mastered it to the point where
version.
he can get stronger with it, but he's
Yeah.
already mastered it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about the manga. I feel like they didn't really do that in anime, but I like that Toyotarou does that in the manga. That he gets kind of like the grade forms.
Yeah.
From Super Saiyan Blue.
Yep, I agree with you there. Like in the anime, they rely a lot on Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, right? We see it in like 3 different arcs. Yeah, 3 different
He
arcs.
spams it in the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, they spam it, man.
Yep. He only used Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken once throughout the entire DBS manga. He only used it against Jiren for like 1 panel, and then he gets
Well,
Jiren
he
slaps him.
doesn't. He doesn't use Kaioken specifically. He uses the principle of Kaioken.
Yeah. Yep. The power up his body.
So confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't even know he could do that, which was confusing. Yeah. But I guess go off Toyotarou.
Yep. So yeah. But yeah, Moro here, he powers up Sargamo's body, and Sargamo clearly can't handle Moro's power, right? But he keeps powering him up more and more until Goku shows the power that he used earlier at the beginning of the fight. But Goku never shows it, and then Sargamo, he eventually dies because his body does, gives out. But then we get, in my opinion, my favorite fight. I've already said it. I'm a mark for Ultra Instinct, right? But the next 2 chapters are my favorite fight. I'm not gonna say my favorite moment, but my favorite fight of the entire arc. We get UI Omen Goku against Moro, and man, if you read those 2 chapters, the action there is a beauty, right? We know that the main thing about Ultra Instinct is the speed, but for Goku, it's like more of a It's a technique and a transformation for him, and I love this battle. I'm not gonna. I could mark out here for an hour about this, but I'm gonna let you guys come in. What did you guys think of the battle between UI Omen and Moro, and the weakness, of course, of Goku's stamina when using Omen and all that? What did you guys think of these 2 chapters?
I thought it was good. I mean, I thought it showed Goku didn't come in and just completely dominate like some people thought or people think he does, which he doesn't normally do that. Goku struggled, and he showed that his training wasn't complete, and obviously the objective, because it's tough, because you have to keep progressing him through strength, and Ultra Instinct, of course, is the next level. So Toyotarou couldn't have him go completed Ultra Instinct right off the bat. He had to say, let's do Omen, then that'll be on par with Moro, which makes sense. And he was saving the completed version and building that up throughout the entire arc. So it made the payoff really worth it when he did go completed Ultra Instinct. I personally enjoyed completed Ultra Instinct more in here than I did in its tournament.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about that, but yeah, you can keep going. But yeah, I agree with you, 100%.
That's basically all I gotta say.
That chapter when Goku's Master UI is beast. you know, and you guys can hear me marking out right now. But you guys, I'll let the other you guys go.
Well, I mean, I think it's only appropriate that I start talking about Ultra Instinct Goku, right?
Yeah,
Um,
UI Paul, huh?
yeah, but I think first thing, I think a lot of people jumped the gun when they were like, "Oh my God, Goku's using UI sign. Oh my God, like look at him, bro. This is ridiculous. He shouldn't have had it this early." Um, I think UI sign is not really a bad thing for him to have because it was the incomplete version. And again, like people were talking about it like this was over. Like Vegeta was still waiting in the wings, and I think this whole kind of fight was to sort of tell the difference of like Goku's incomplete training versus Vegeta's completed training, right? Because when Vegeta comes in, he's got a plan, he's ready. Goku, he's very confident in the UI sign, but he doesn't recognize his weakness is that he hasn't completely mastered it yet. That he doesn't have his body is not at a level where he has full control. That he can maintain. It's like Super Saiyan 3, kind of, right? In the sense that like, oh well, it's really strong, and if you can finish the enemy off quickly, cool. But he wasn't able to finish off Moro quickly, so his stamina kept going lower and lower. And I think that was their kind of way of having Goku not be able to get the job done, but not destroying
The
the
enemy, yeah.
mystique of Ultra Instinct.
Yep, yep. Madochi symbiote.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted looking at those panels because the art's so nice.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say that you guys haven't already? The fight's just really good, and I like when he does that thing where he's punching the air, and then Moro's feeling it on his body. That was really cool. Yeah, I mean, I like, you know what? When I watched the Tournament of Power, UI sign didn't really feel like, even though I like how it looks physically, even though physically I like it better than the completed form of Ultra Instinct, it didn't really feel like it was that different or that special. This, I feel like it gives UI sign a bigger impact, I suppose, because his own time to shine, he can use it properly, and the art really helps with that. I have more to say about like the next fight, like the final climax, but this is yeah, I feel like this is where you really start to see Toyotaro's art in his action scenes get really dynamic and stuff. So yeah.
Yep.
Well, I love Ultra Instinct. I think me and Fitzmont can agree it's the definitive form for Goku.
Yeah, no more
Best
forms.
technique. No more forms.
No more forms for Goku. Vegeta,
gotta be the
I
end.
agree.
I'm telling you, bro,
No
super
more
full power Ultra Instinct Goku. It's coming.
Hey.
Totoro, how'd you get in here? But when this chapter came out, I was really on the edge of my seat because I was like, okay, how are they going to display the power of Ultra Instinct here now? And I would agree with some that they felt that it was too early. I felt that it was too early, but it was cool to see Moro kind of a little bit afraid because if you notice, Moro was the only one that could see how fast Goku, aside from Jocko, how fast Goku was going.
Yep.
And, he made Goku use Ultra Instinct because if he didn't, he was going to, kill Saganbo, which in the end, which I gotta say, that was some pretty cool art of Saganbo powered up, looking all nasty. That was actually really cool. But, back to the battle. It was really cool to see Goku use those kind of Ki strikes against Moro. It was really cool that even then, while Goku was fighting Moro, he kept saying how strong Moro was. That it was like hitting a wall or something. And the way they handled Sign, I thought it was cool. I thought it was okay, but it also made me kind of worried that Ultra Instinct was losing. I remember me and Fitzmong would talk about it.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
like, oh no, man.
Oh, man.
They're making Ultra Instinct into the next Super Saiyan form.
Job.
And I'm just like, man, I can't believe like Goku and Omen is losing. Like, but then it didn't occur to me that maybe Ultra Instinct, the complete version would actually be much more, efficient and powerful. But for the most part, it was a nice little warm up to the actual battle.
Mhm. Yep, definitely. I was so concerned when I saw, because the thing about it is, UI Omen Goku gets defeated not once, not twice, but three times by Moro in this saga. Once in chapter 59, once in chapter 60, and one more time in chapter 63, right before Miras' sacrifice, right? But I think they did a really good job with the form. It'll be interesting to see if Goku uses UI Omen in future arcs. He kind of doesn't have to because he has Master UI, but maybe he uses like Omen as like a test form. Who knows? But that's we'll see what they do in the future. But like I said, I love the fight with Goku and Moro through those two chapters. They did it really well. If there's one thing that I'm hyped to see when Super comes back, it's that fight because that's a fight they can make 2 episodes out of if they really want to. You know, it reminds me a lot of Goku versus Cell, and it's one of my favorite fights in the entire DBS manga. It's great, but. We see Goku does get defeated by Moro, but we a lot of us saw that they were gonna have to do something like that because Vegeta was still on the back end, and there was no way they were gonna have Goku just walk in and beat Moro without Vegeta getting at least another crack at it. And a lot of people saw this as the key part of the arc, right? Vegeta, what was his technique? A lot of people speculated for months what Vegeta's technique was gonna be, right? And we had no idea, but come to find out, that it is something called spirit fission. I just call it spirit separation, but the official name, of course, is spirit fission. And we find out, Vegeta uses the technique using Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, and basically the main thing is it basically breaks apart anything that was formed with absorption or fusion, right? So a lot of people, a lot of people say that Gogeta would have no chance against Moro with 7-3 fused because Moro has Vegeta's moves, but people forget that Gogeta would have the same exact technique because of Vegeta. So, but still about it is I love Vegeta's technique, Spirit Fission. I love that it's different, of course, from Goku using UI. It's an actual technique, right? And I said this when this chapter first came out. There was no way Vegeta was gonna walk in and just defeat Moro just like that. That's not the way Dragon Ball works. They always, draw out the battle, make it, a little more, make it into a bigger scene, right? But I love this technique. I love seeing Moro like turn back into like an old man. As Vegeta is like kicking out more energy from him. And we get to see that energy like sent back to where it came from. I absolutely love it. It makes Vegeta look like an absolute badass. Because at the beginning of the arc, you could tell Vegeta hated this. Vegeta hated how Moro was using magical powers and stealing energy from others. Vegeta says, I just want to fight you with your own strength." You know, and Goku's the same person. They're Saiyans at the end of the day. They don't believe in all these, stupid parlor tricks, in a way. So, what did you guys think of Vegeta's new technique? Did you guys like it? Would you guys rather see Vegeta just get a new form? What did you guys think of Vegeta and, Spirit Fission?
I loved
Well,
it.
first of all, I'm sorry. There's just something that you seem to gloss over that I can't help but point out. Isn't this the same chapter where Piccolo says that Vegeta's never underestimated an opponent, bro?
Oh my god, this chapter I was really
yo,
pissed when it came out. I thought this chapter ruined the arc when it came out. I mean, that kind of like changed my mind a little bit after, but I hated this chapter when it came out. This Piccolo, then Vegeta, this whole I'm the villain.
I hated that whole. Can you believe how much he's changed? It's like, yes, I can. Look at you.
Yeah, exactly.
He literally did the exact same shit. Like, if that were coming from anyone else, I would have been fine with it.
It's like, yeah.
But the fact that it was Piccolo, I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, to think a guy so bad could be this good. It's like,
But the thing is that I hate about that specifically is that we went through that same thing in the Buu arc. Like, it's like
Exactly.
we know that Vegeta's a hero by now. Like,
Yep.
you don't have to
Yep.
tell us that. Like, we're not stupid. Like, Vegeta's fighting with Goku. So
Wiping the slate
by
clean.
default-
Like, huh?
Yeah, and then for
Yeah.
Vegeta to just drop that line off, I'm still a villain. Man, screw you, Taro.
Yeah, that's so bullshit too. Because in the Buu arc, when they say bring all the good people back to life, Vegeta gets brought back to life, and Goku says that, oh well, I guess considered a good person now because they brought you back to life. So I don't know why now he's like, I'm destined for hell. That's
Right.
It's just.
A lot of people that defended this thought that, and I'm not saying I personally agree with it. I don't. I'm on your guys' side. A lot of people thought that, yes, Vegeta is a good guy, but in his own eyes, he won't be a good guy until he atones for his sins. And I guess, some people like that, but to me, I'd rather Vegeta just, stay in reality, to be honest.
The way I try to rationalize it in my head is Vegeta knows he's not going to go to hell, but part of him still feels like he kind of should. But the wording was just really bad. That's how I try to rationalize it in my head, so I don't get as angry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole thing is like, dude, you literally had like this whole arc, like during the Buu arc.
And then the other problem I have with this arc was, the arc. This chapter was the ending, right? They literally pull a Resurrection F all over again. Like
yeah.
Like you would think that Vegeta would have learned
With
by
Vegeta's
now.
hand out and
Just-
everything.
You have him down.
Sorry about that.
Like just finish this fool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
A classic Dragon
he's
Ball.
literally yours.
They always gotta say
like,
something. Why don't they just kill the guy? Like, like goodbye, Frieza. Never resurrect again. Goodbye, Moro. Go see you in hell. like, oh my gosh, just kill the guy already. Beers just said Hakai and Zamasu was done. But yeah, I agree with you.
Like talk your shit later, bro. Honestly.
Talk your shit to his ashes on the battlefield. Oh man. But yeah.
I just think I think I do like the way that they kind of kept the mystery of what is Vegeta's new technique. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that, they made Vegeta look strong here and that they did, like I talked about earlier, they did keep the idea of Goku's incomplete training versus Vegeta's completed training, and they showed the kind of differences there, and I like that.
Yep.
But there's just a lot of other glaring problems with this chapter that really stopped me from saying that this was really good.
Yep. I agree with you.
So,
I completely agree.
So in my opinion, I think Spirit Separation is one of the best new attacks in Super. It was really, nobody could predict what it was going to be. I mean, people had ideas here and there that it was going to be possibly like an opposite of what Moro can do, in which it kind of is. But I love that they added that Vegeta can now separate fused people. And when they said that, I was like, well, now that Moro 873, why doesn't Vegeta just do that? But then Moro became powerful.
Yep.
Vegeta couldn't touch him anymore. So, Vegeta being, the character he is, I didn't agree with the dialogue either. I was like, that's really weird. Why would they, why would they regress Vegeta that way? And then I was like, well, maybe Toritaro thought he was writing Dragon Ball AF again.
They had to scale Moro up. That's why. Yeah. Because
But the whole, the whole Bound for Hell dialogue was just weird. Because Vegeta already knows that he's not a bad guy.
I think
So it really made no sense.
Yeah, literally the only thing you can say is that Vegeta still feels guilty for everything he's done. But that's grasping at straws, man. That's really the only thing you could say.
And he literally saved the Namekians. So how is he bound for hell? He literally atoned for sins.
Mm-hmm.
He resurrected the Namekians. He saved them.
Yep.
So, there's something that either he wanted to sound, badass or edgy. It just didn't sit well with me personally. I don't think that type of line, pertains to Vegeta. At least not anymore.
Yeah,
That wasn't Vegeta.
it's one of it's. I see it as
Yeah,
one of
maybe
the
like
big
early
blunders.
Bulk, maybe.
No,
I'm
go.
sorry, can you say that again?
Oh, I said that. I said maybe that would have worked for like early Bork Vegeta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Buar Vegeta, that's
Perfect.
definitely like a Majin Vegeta, before he self-destructs.
Yeah.
But, it just, that dialogue, this also goes with Piccolo's dialogue, those don't really work here. Like, how far are we now in Dragon Ball in Super? We've passed Majin Buu, we've passed Frieza, we've passed Cell. I think Vegeta's learned well enough not to underestimate people anymore. Like, for them to be like, oh, he's never underestimated. Well,
And then he does it again. He literally
and then he does it again. And then he does it again. He underestimates Moro. He forgets that Moro can teleport.
Yep. Like,
If that's not a slap in the face, Vegeta fans on it.
no.
I hate this chapter, man, and I'm not even a Vegeta fan, bro.
Yeah, I gotta be honest.
Were you saying something, Symbiote?
Symbiote, you cut out, bro. You pulled a Frank. Hello, you there, bro?
I think he
Oh,
does.
maybe Taro got him, bro.
I think Symbiote will be back here. Maybe he's just lagging a little
Yeah.
bit. But yeah,
I'll just
so I agree. Like this is like when we talked at the beginning of the video, or the stream, I said this was one of the big blunders. Some of the dialogue here just didn't really make much sense. Piccolo's lines and what Vegeta was saying, I'm just like, what it is. In the grand scheme of the arc, it is whatever, right? It's not. It doesn't like make or break the arc for me, really. But definitely, Torchar could have done better with some of this dialogue. Make it a little more sense of it. But moving into the big power boost, some of you guys already spoke of it. Moral fusing or not fusing, legit devouring 7-3, right? Everyone was joking that this is the Cell saga. You could see in just Moral's appearance there's similarities to Cell, Frieza, Hit. He kind of looks like a combination of a bunch of different villains, right? But the next chapter is actually one of the most brutal chapters, arguably the most brutal chapter in DBS. We see 7-3 does absolutely decimate the Z fighters. Vegeta, he actually gets his abilities copied by Moro. Goku and Vegeta, they never met 7-3 before this battle, so they didn't know about 7-3's copy ability. But Vegeta gets his abilities copied, and I just laugh at the point that Vegeta got defeated by his own move, right? Even if 7-3 was stronger than, or even if Moro was stronger than Vegeta, I would think Vegeta would have been at least able to dodge his own move. But it's whatever. But we see Moro just go on to destroy. He just absolutely decimates the Z fighters. Probably the most brutal panel in all of DBS is when Super Saiyan Blue Goku fires a Kamehameha at Moro. Moro, it has no effect on him, but he regenerates his left arm while impaling Goku in the freaking gut, right, or in the heart. Really, that's absolutely brutal stuff, right? We also see Gohan get his teeth broken when Moro just hits him with a back fist. We also see Piccolo, right? Piccolo gets a special beam cannon through the chest. And I kind of like, how, the reason why Moro hasn't killed them is because he says they're my meal. So what did you guys think of, Moro eating 7-3, his new powers, right? What did you guys think of that and how he just absolutely decimated the Z fighters?
Well, first off, when he first like vored up 7-3,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like a big fan of his design. But
Yeah.
like the more we saw it in action, the more I was like, okay, I can vibe with this. It's kind of cool.
It grew on me. Yeah.
And yeah, I still prefer his like old man design from the beginning of the arc. I think it was a lot more creative. I still like this one. As for him, like completely like just taking everyone out, I thought that was really cool. But at the same time, part of me felt like him just immediately getting all these abilities just felt like part of me felt like it was like a cheap way to like build up the drama, but the art's just so nice though. So I'm kind of torn because
Yo, you know what?
it's so
All I can
it's
think
so.
about
Go on.
when we talk about this chapter, all I can think about was I don't remember who it was, but I remember I don't know if it was on Twitter or something, but I remember somebody making a comment about like, how can we like this violence? Like we're all just a bunch of bloodthirsty Dragon Ball fans, bro. And I'm like, what?
No, this was cool. I mean, we don't get stuff like this often.
Yeah.
So, and it
Like,
worked. You know
never.
what? If it was happening every single chapter, I'd be like, yeah, it's a little too much.
Right.
But the fact that it's not happening often, and you get something like this, makes it shocking and actually adds to the story, in my opinion. It's visual storytelling.
And
Yeah,
here's the
like-
thing, this probably won't even be in the anime. Like that shot
That's
of
true.
Goku
It won't.
getting
It
his hand.
won't.
Yeah, so with this, I really do like the art and stuff. It's just part of me felt like Moro getting all these abilities immediately wasn't really earned. But yeah, I like how Moro does his signature move, just fisting people in the chest. I didn't realize how many times he did it until I reread the arc, and he does it like 5 times. But yeah.
Aside from the Cell and Hit comparisons, I thought the design was. This is one of the. I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but this is one of the more worse looking designs. I wish,
liked it.
in my opinion, I wish you would have kept, the Baphomet design. The goat looking, all buffed up. I wish you would have just kept that. Or I wish they would have combined that with 7-3 more. They would have gave more of likeness, more of Moro's likeness to 7-3 instead of the other way around. Seeing him decimate, the Z Warriors was pretty cool. I wish Vegeta would have had more of a, battle instead of, jobbing to his own abilities, which was just, oh my god, that was embarrassing. Gohan getting the London look was pretty cool. And Goku getting impaled, I think that shocked me as well because of how graphic it was. I remember seeing people compare it to Dragon Ball Multiverse, and I was like, no, there's no way this is on nowhere like near Multiverse. Multiverse like does this on a daily. Dragon Ball has been gory since the beginning, but it's not over the top. And I don't consider, Goku getting impaled over the top. But it was a nice, like, what the F, moment. I don't think anyone expected that to happen. That really cemented, like, 7-3 is like a real deal. Like, they need to get rid of him. They need to beat him. He's really out for blood.
Yeah, and there was people that I think, I don't remember if it was when the spoilers came out or if it was when the actual chapter came out, but there was people that legit thought that like Goku was gonna die, and I'm like,
No,
I think you're a little crazy with
come on.
Goku.
I remember that too. I remember that too.
It's DBS, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I remember that as well. But
Even if he died, he would come right back because we know he's alive at the end of Z. So that's the issue with Dragon Ball Super is you have no consequences.
yeah, I feel like people forget that there's the end of Z, that it still exists, that at the end everyone is alive. So no matter, consequence, they're all going to be alive at the end of the series. They're all going to be there. And I wish, part of me wishes Super would have taken place after the end of Z. Like all of Z stories just happen at, after the end of Z when Goku's training.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah.
I really, because I would have been fine with us just having, the Yosan Goku and Friends, special and the Battle of God. But then we never see Beerus or Whis again until after the end of Z.
Yeah.
Or have Battle of Gods take place after Goku trains Ooh. Or during Goku's training with Ooh. Goku comes by for Bulma's birthday, and then Beerus, the God of Destruction, wakes up. And no matter how many years or how much training Goku has done, Beerus is way above that. Even though he's been sleeping for how many sagas? So, but it is what it is.
Real quick, to kind of build off what you guys were saying, because I don't know if we'll get a chance to talk about this later, but I think that was one of my biggest gripes with the moral arc is that I feel like there's no there's no consequence for anything that happens in the moral arc with any of these characters. I feel like, and even like I don't feel like they even leave a lasting impact on the characters. Like even coming out of like the Tournament of Power, I sort of feel like okay, like Jiren and Goku using UI and all those kinds of things, and Vegeta deciding, oh yeah, I'm gonna go um, try to get my power my own way. Like that at least left something for Vegeta and Goku after that will carry them to this arc and the next arc, right? Like
Yep.
outside of the moral arc, I don't feel like there's anything that, oh, did Goku learn something from this or did something change? It kind of makes me feel a little bit like the ending of the Future Trunks arc in the sense that, I mean, I don't hate the ending as much as I hate the ending of the Future Trunks arc. But what I mean is, like, Trunks loses his timeline, right? And you think that, oh, well, he failed to protect his timeline. He lost everyone, trying to defeat Zamasu and Goku Black. But oh no, here you go. He can just hop into another future. There's no consequence for him. He's
Wacky.
fine. It's kind of how I feel like with the moral arc.
I agree with Paul. I really agree with Paul. Yeah, there is no consequence in Super. I feel like in this saga in particular, Goku and Vegeta didn't really learn anything other aside from their techniques. They got spirit separation, Goku got Ultra Instinct, but what did they really learn? What did they really take away? Because, this is jumping a little bit ahead, but I'll save my comments for later. But just to say this now, Goku giving Moro Sensu really, really was a dumb moment. And you would think by now how far he's come, he would learn not to do that. Judging Moro's, demeanor and what Moro stands for, you would think the character wouldn't do that. But, but there it is,
Yep.
No, it's funny because you guys are talking about consequences and stuff.
There is no tension in Super.
And no tension.
As a fan, I'm going to say that there is no tension in Super.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. It's funny. Literally, as we're talking about this, if you guys are subbed to me, you would have got the notification. I just uploaded a video about this. About the
Yep, I got the notification. Yep.
Yeah.
Just got it.
Just uploaded it. I was working on it during the stream. But it's funny because, like, basically what I'm going to talk about is people are kind of mad about the whole, and I know we'll get to this later, but the whole Mirrors thing. And the truth is, to me, it's like, what Dragon Ball did before is it really had no consequences as far as, like, Goku would die, come back, everybody would die, come back. But there was tension in the story because of the potential of a consequence. There is no potential for any consequences except for characters that aren't in the end of Z. But are we really going to be on the edge of our seat over, Mirrors or Beerus? I mean, people might be, but you're not going to be as engaged as you would be for Goku or Vegeta. Those characters. And Dragon Ball Super will never have that unless it goes past the end of Z. And even if it does go past the end of Z, it introduced 2 more methods that people can come back to life in the Super Dragon Balls and now the Angels. So it's a big issue.
I agree. To an extent, I think there's a little thing that I would change about that. Because I do feel like even though there could be consequences, it doesn't have to be death though. Like I
agree
that there could be ways to leave a lasting impact on these characters that doesn't involve them getting killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I agree. I would like to see that happen because I feel like even Goku could learn some stuff from Jiren. Like if you watch like Set the Programmer's video, right? Like he talked about the strength of Son Goku. He even talked a little bit about how Jiren is basically what Goku viewed himself wanting to be. right? Like all this strong and stuff, super powerful. But Goku got his strength a different way. Goku relied on his friends and his family and the people he loves, and Jiren didn't, right? So like
Right.
that should lead Goku to think, oh, this isn't really just about me. This is about the people I care about as well. Instead of it just being like, oh, well, Goku has to die for there to be a consequence. I feel like people just say, after the end of Z, things will change, and it's like, well, yeah, but like, I don't think these characters need to die
No, they
for there
don't.
to be actual changes amongst these characters. That's just
I
what I
agree.
want. I want them to learn lessons from every person they fight.
I'm so happy you said that because that's something that a lot of people I think are not really understanding in Dragon Ball. Because Dragon Ball is not about, the death and tragedies that Goku is going to encounter. No, it's about the lessons that Goku and his friends. Well, it's mainly Goku. The lessons that Goku will learn throughout his journey and how it'll impact his friends and everybody around him. And that is a really interesting point because when people think of consequences, they're really thinking of like death and like, stuff like there's a punishment for your actions or there's something that's going to happen. They think of it in a negative, kind of connotation. Not really like, oh, we learned our lesson from this, like we grew as characters. That's my favorite stuff. But some people are mad, like, oh, there's no consequences. This is ridiculous. But you can't really look at it from that perspective. I feel.
Yeah, I definitely I agree with you, and I love how you bring up what the lessons Goku learned because we'll get to that in just a couple moments. Because
You mean the lessons Goku didn't learn, bro? Apparently.
please. I feel like we're gonna have some really great opinions about that. But also speaking about consequences, right? Consequences. Well, I guess we could, kind of apply that to our old buddy Mirrors here. Because as Moro is, just decimating our heroes and looks like all hope is lost, we see the Angel Mirrors, not Whis, right? People think that, Whis was the one that made the appearance here. No, it was Mirrors, right? Mirrors appears on the battlefield. He first appears in his angel
Wait,
clothes.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you real quick.
No, no problem.
Yo, man, when this happened and the chapter first came out,
Yeah.
I was so mad, bro. I was like, oh, this is the worst. No, we're going back down to the future Trunks arc. But
Yeah, yeah.
in hindsight, I realized that I really shouldn't have been that mad. It didn't turn out being that bad. And I was like, because all I was thinking about is, oh God, here we go. The gods are gonna come in again, and they're gonna save the day, and they can't even let the main characters handle their own problems. Always have Beerus or Whis, and now Mirrors. They always gotta get involved, man. I hate it, but it didn't turn out that bad. But again, like I still feel like it should have been just Goku and Vegeta and all those guys kind of figuring it out on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dragon Ball Super needs more of that because you want to talk about there being no tension because we haven't reached the end of Z. There's no tension because the gods are always there, bro. So
Yeah.
like that really affects it too.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people love the finale, which we'll get to soon, because they took Beerus and Whis out of the story. And they forced Goku, even though Whis gave Goku, the secret of defeating Moro, which was the crystal, right? It still led to, because Goku and Vegeta and the rest of the crew had to figure out a way to defeat, Moro, without the help of the gods. Because they teased Beerus, coming in. I got something to say about that when we get that because there are some people in this community that really piss me off, and I'm a Beerus fan. But when we saw Beerus about to go up against Moro, right? Oh man, the Dragon Ball community got me
Never
pissed.
seen him at full power, bro.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like we'll talk about that. And I'll rant. I'll do my mini rant when we get there. But yes, Mirrors here, right? People didn't know what was gonna happen here. People thought, since Mirrors was now an angel, that Mirrors was gonna be the one to defeat Moro. I never thought that Mirrors was gonna defeat Moro. Never did. And because especially because of the whole erasure thing. But we see, excuse me, we see Mirrors. He at first, the first part of this chapter is Mirrors fighting. Not he's not using his angel powers. He just uses like a nice little staff, right? And I just love like Moro says, you come at me with a tool. Like he's like what like more even more is like what the hell, like I know you're not fighting seriously, why are you relying on a tool to fight me, right? But we see that he's just trying to buy some time till Goku and the others get healed. I also there's like a part here like right after Goku gets healed. First off, I like how Dende says that it takes me a little bit longer to heal Goku uh because Goku's energy is on God level, healing him takes a little bit longer. So I did like how that they did say that. It gives you a little bit of context about how strong Goku actually is. You know, and I also love how Goku has that scar. From where Moro impaled him. I hope Goku keeps that going forward. But we
I think.
yeah. Say what you're saying.
I was just gonna say I think that scar that Goku has when he gets healed. I might be wrong, but I think that might be a reference to the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai.
With Piccolo.
Because after he gets shot through the chest, when he gets healed, you still see that circle around his chest.
It's true. I think it definitely is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
guys, I gotta bounce because it's getting kind of late. I got some stuff I gotta do.
Yep, no problem.
Prepare for Christmas tomorrow. I'm sorry, bro.
Hey,
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. I had a ton of
Cool
fun.
talking to you, man.
I learned a lot from talking to you guys. It was really interesting. You listen to different perspectives and stuff. It's always a fun time. So
Yep.
thank you, Fitz, for having me on.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you guys. Good talking to you all.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye, Sal.
Have a good one, bro. See you guys.
Yep. Yeah, thank you, Sal, for. Yeah, thanks, Sal. Yeah, but shout out to Sal. Thanks for him for joining, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to him. His channel. I left the link in the description for you guys. So make sure to go check out the video he posted after we finish up here. But yeah, we're gonna try to speed this along a little bit, right? Because we don't want to get this too long. But right after Goku does get healed by I love how Goku does say the Dende like thank you as always Kami-sama. It's like Goku recognizing Dende as the new Kami. So I do like that little reference. But we do see, Mirrors does continue to try to stall Moro. Goku comes in and tells Mirrors to stop fighting, of course, right? Goku goes in the UI Omen, and he does get, defeated by Moro again. No surprise here. Goku got defeated before, right? And this
Gets freaking one-shotted, bro.
yeah. Did
Can I just say something?
Yep.
Can we give a round of applause to not just Sal, but also Jocko for holding his ground against Moro and not running away?
Yeah.
Wait, did you
Because
say
if you read the
Sal
Jocko the
and
Patrolman
Jocko,
manga,
bro?
bro, Jocko, he used to be a bit of a wimp, bro, but he threw some balls in this manga, in this saga.
He would have one-shotted Moro, bro, easily. We all know.
Bro, that's why Mirrors had to come in, man. He saved Moro.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but yeah, I know. No, shout out to Jacko. And Goku kind of referenced that. And Mirrors referenced that too in the same chapter. Mirrors talks about how the Galactic Patrolmen they're not that strong, but still they have like a strong will to do their best to protect the galaxy. And you see that here. Jacko's weak. But him using his eyesight. Also, remember Jacko? He was the guy that went over to Dende's lookout to go wake up, Majin Buu so they could go use Oob, right? Without Jacko, man,
Right.
they would have never went to go get Buu to go contact Oob. So like, yeah, Jacko's another, you can give him an MVP award as well because without him, they don't win. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love that a lot. Of course, Goku does get one shotted, which, of course, I'm not gonna lie, it did piss me off a little bit, but I wasn't really that surprised. But clearly, you could kind of see where this was going, right? So we see Mirrors does get his abilities copied, which would play a role in about 2 chapters later. But also, we see that Mirrors starts using his angel powers. He uses his staff, then he starts, destroying the crystals. And as he starts doing this, Beerus and Whis come to the battlefield, and you can see that they Beerus starts to disappear slowly and slowly. He becomes more and more transparent, right? So of course we get that big panel where Beerus is talking to Goku about uh, his desire and what fighting enemies and why he doesn't kill main guys. Then Goku says, oh, it's because the evil guys push me to become stronger and stronger, and if I keep fighting them, of course, maybe, just maybe, they'll consider coming to the good side, but I mainly fight them because I want to improve myself. And I personally hope, and I know someone else said it earlier in the stream, that when the anime comes back, that they expand on Goku and Miras's relationship more and more. Because I know some people got confused and didn't really understand the relationship between Goku and Miras, right? So, what did you guys think of Miras's monologue, Miras's disappearance, right? What did you guys think of that whole situation?
Can I say real quick?
Yeah, say
I
whatever.
actually like the fight between Beerus and Moro was good. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very short and sweet, but it was a lot of fun. We just like the first time we actually get to see an angel like put some effort into something.
Mhm.
And I did think that the Mirror's like his I guess you could say death would have worked a little bit better if they had expanded more on Goku and Mirror's kind of relationship there. But it did. I do think that it fulfilled its purpose. I think it was believable enough to think that, okay, well, this would push Goku to like, okay, I want to kill Moro now. Like, but the only thing is that I felt kind of confused about, which kind of leads a little bit into next chapter, and I don't want to go too far ahead, but it was that, how did that moment in particular activate Goku's Ultra Instinct? Because you would think that he would be kind of mad, right? Like, like that's usually how it happens, right? And he took that pose similar to the pose that he had on Namek when Krillin dies, right? Like, yo, man, you just killed my friend. Like, yo, I'm gonna grab you by the head, bro. Just like I'm gonna crush you, like that type of that Saiyan sort of anger. And I was like, wow, it's a little weird that it just brings him to a point where he feels almost at peace, because that's where you have to be for Ultra Instinct. You have to be very calm, let yourself kind of go. So it felt like that was a strange event to push him to go into Ultra Instinct, at least in my opinion. But Mirrors is cool.
All right, yeah. Raise my mic. Okay, yeah. Mirrors versus Moro was awesome. I like the use of that staff, and there's that really cool panel where he's just hitting him in the chin. And I like that at the end, Goku's when he finally goes into his completed form of Ultra Instinct. That was actually like foreshadowed a few chapters ago when they're training, and Mira says something like, "You'll finally attain Ultra Instinct
Yep.
when you're able to take a shock to your system and not, and and you're able to like control your emotions, something along those lines." So I like that came back, and I like that actually paid off, because we're so used to Goku just like raging out and screaming, but instead he just kind of takes a deep breath and his hair turns silver.
Yeah.
I think for the most part this was done as good as it could be. The only issue, just like Paul mentioned, is that we didn't really get as much screen time with Goku and Beerus just hanging out and being friends. I think more of that would have made this feel a lot more emotional. But overall, yeah, I think it was done really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, real quick, Incinerate in the chat said Goku achieved Ultra Instinct. He brought up a pretty good point, or she. Goku achieved Ultra Instinct once he controlled his emotions. It was as Mira said. It will be achieved once you attain self control when faced with a jarring
Jarring
emotional
shock.
shock.
Yep.
And I guess that shock was Mira's death. Um, and also the weird thing that I guess we didn't really touch on, but at least when I first read the chapter, I thought was really interesting was, how Beerus basically told Goku like, "Yo, once you get into Master Ultra Instinct,
You're unbeatable.
like nobody's gonna be able to mess with it. Like Moro can't beat you, nobody can." And I was like, wow, like they are really positioning Ultra Instinct as that level of power. Even as even though it's just Goku, he's not an angel or anything. He's just listen. You at this point, once you tap into Master Ultra Instinct, no one's fucking with you, bro. You got it.
Yep. Completely agree. Yep. You know, Mir's sacrifice. It definitely when I saw it, it got me a little emotional. Even though I had a feeling that we would see Mirrors come back, right? Spoiler, for the end of the arc, which we'll get to in a little bit. But still, I liked it a lot, and I understood why they did it. They had to give Goku a reason to obtain Master UI, which we're gonna talk about right now. Easily my favorite freaking moment of the or close to my favorite moment. It's up there. It's up there. Freaking Goku's
Before we
transformation.
get there,
Yeah, yeah.
before we get
Oh
there,
no, yeah, yeah.
I just gotta say,
Yep.
Goku, I don't feel so good.
Oh my
I'll say
god.
this:
Yeah, go.
Goku not going in a fit of rage was the best thing.
Yes.
that we
Yes,
saw
I
him
remember
do
we talked about this.
in order to obtain Ultra Instinct, because he had to do the complete opposite, which was not to get mad, which was not to get pissed, and he achieved ultimate power that way. All his training, when you look back at the Tournament of Power in the manga, remember, Master Roshi tells him, remember everything your teachers have taught you. And everything is, you gotta control your spirit. You gotta be calm. You gotta be zen. Then Goku realizes, oh, that's what it is. I need to remember how to keep myself in control. Not to show too much emotion. Not so much to be emotionless, but keep my emotions in check. And that's something that I feel was a cool thing that they added to Ultra Instincts, in order for, Goku to achieve it, that he had to go through that rigorous training. He had to be able to, separate his mind and body. He had to figure out, okay, how do I, keep myself calm during a shock to my senses or my nerves? And Mirus' death was a great way to do it. Mirus dying bothered me because the Toyotaro expected you to already kind of understand Goku and Mirus' relationship as student and teacher, but if I'm being honest, the way they tried showing it to us before, when Mirus was charging at Moro, I really didn't like that. I would have been fine had they done like a special chapter showing that friendship being built up, showing like, oh hey, like Mirrors taught Goku some other things besides Ultra Instinct. They got to know each other. I mean, we got to see Goku and Gohan train in the Room of Spirit and Time in the Z portion of the manga. Why couldn't we see more of Mirrors and Goku? So when the anime comes, and I think we can all agree, when the anime comes back, if it comes back, I want them to expand this scene. I want to see more of Mirrors and Goku's training.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was one of my favorite things in Dragon Ball, when Kid Goku would train with Mr. Popo and Kami. And that's always been one of my favorite things in Dragon Ball, is Goku's training. Every time Goku's training, he trains his spirit and he trains his mind. Not just his muscles, but his mind. And I'm so happy that Ultra Instinct is the culmination of all of Goku's martial arts teachings. It's the best.
Yep.
And I hope they don't ruin it.
I totally agree. I feel like Ultra Instinct, I really like it because it feels like it's rooted in like classic Dragon Ball and all of the things that Dragon Ball's been influenced off of.
Exactly.
Yep. I completely agree with you guys. I love Goku and Mirrors' training. I've said it before, I'll say it again. When the anime comes back, they need to expand on it. They could legit, if they want, they could make almost a whole episode of just Goku and Mirrors training, Really, like I wouldn't have a problem with it because I feel like it's important for people to understand that relationship, because it sets up Goku mastering his strongest form to date. Symbiote, I think we talked about it one time. Ultra Instinct is the combination of everything Goku has learned, right? Everything Goku's learned from being a kid all the way to now through Super, and it's the perfect form for Goku. Everything from the color to the way it's used. I love it. There's a reason why I always say Goku should not get another form after UI. He should, in the future, if you want to have him continue to improve UI to newer heights and newer levels, I'm fine with that. But in terms of a form and a transformation, this should be it. There shouldn't be anything higher for Goku. That's why it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the Granola arc and whoever's the main villain of that. Because every villain from here on out is going to have to be scaled to be some kind of challenge for UI Goku. You know what I mean? But
I totally agree.
yeah, and we'll talk about Granola in a little bit at the end. We are getting towards the end here, but we still got a couple chapters left. The transformation, as you guys can see on the screen, this is what I cannot wait to see this animated. This is easily, probably my favorite transformation. Freaking, it may be my favorite transformation ever in Dragon Ball, even though we've never seen it animated. That's the way it's presented here in the manga. Goku with his eyes closed, right? We're so used to people yelling when transforming. Goku with his eyes closed, just calming himself and just entering that state. And, an earthquake erupting on Earth. Piccolo and Gohan and the others are watching and they're like, what's going on? And all of a sudden, everything just goes silent. And then, all you see is Goku with his head back. And then he tilts it forward, opens his eyes, and bam! UI Goku is there looking fucking beast.
Sexy.
Fucking like ridiculous here. Moro's expression tells it all. I'm marking out right now. This is easily my fucking favorite chapter because Goku just fucking mollywops this dude for like the next 30 pages. Look at this shit. He walks up to Moro and then Moro's just like scared. Goku doesn't say shit to this dude. Doesn't say nothing. And Goku just walks up to him like, yeah, you won't harm Earth anymore, you little bitch. And it just fucking mollywops this dude for the rest of the chapter. Backhand, right? Dodging without even looking. Like I'm in pure markout mode now. This is better than Goku versus Jiren in the Tournament of Power. I'm sorry. This is fucking beast. Even Beerus is like, like, damn, the way he's fighting, it's godlike. Goku's fighting like a damn god in this damn chapter. Even the chapter afterwards, where Moro tries to hit Goku in the chest and he breaks his hand, like fucking awful, right? And then I told you guys I was gonna mark out when we got to this point. So Goku, does the Godbind technique from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie on this guy, just fucking like, and then the punch heard around the world, right? Goku freaking hits Moro so hard in the chest, the entire planet shakes. Shockwaves are felt on the entire planet. The entire planet has an earthquake, bro. Like, are you kidding me right now? Really? Goku does this. Moro tries to do magic. Goku's hitting Moro with kicks without even looking. Like fucking hell, man. Okay, you guys give your opinion on this. I'm tired. I'm just marking up. What did you guys think of Goku mastering UI? Just fucking bitch slapping this guy Moro.
I think so. This shit was fucking.
All right.
Paul's like, I'm back.
Yeah, I had a bit of a technical issue right there. Sucks, but yeah. So listen, man. Do I have y'all's permission to take it away? Cause
No, you go.
Yeah, you take the floor, Paul. This is all you, man.
Let me tell you something, bro. This chapter was legitimately like I could give Toyotaro a hug for this chapter, bro. Even though everything else he does makes me mad, this chapter was like, it was like perfect. It was like he made this chapter for me.
Yup.
Like I just wanted UI Goku to come in there and whoop ass. And he did. And he did like Moro didn't even stand a chance, son. Like, they position Ultra Instinct as the greatest freaking power that he has. Like, I don't even know how they could make something like a new, like, you know how we talk about, oh, Goku shouldn't have a new form. I don't even know how they could make a new form. Like, this is literally like the perfect form. He literally can move without thinking. He's, as you know, he's fighting like a god. He's insanely super overpowered. Like, how can you make something stronger than him? That's why, like, the only issue I kind of have with this is, like, now Goku is on a level, and he could do this at will. Who the hell is supposed to fuck with Goku now? Like,
Yep.
honestly, I'm not, like, listen, I know some people, you know, they want to be Beerus fanboys, yo. I think Goku would whoop his ass, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Like, I don't think Beerus wants to smoke. Like, I really don't. But, yeah, man, like, this fight was perfect. And, you know, they messed it up a little bit next chapter, but we're not talking about the next chapter right now. We're talking about this chapter, and this chapter is freaking awesome, son. Like, yo, Goku brought back, like you said, the God Bind. He was freaking... He hit him so hard that it shook the planet, bro.
Yup.
Like...
Look at that shit, bro. Fuck!
It
Fucking
don't get better than that, bro.
godly.
He left Moro begging for his life at the end of the chapter, bro. Bro, he made Moro acknowledge him as the
Tribal Chief
I don't think
Goku.
it gets better than this.
Tribal Chief Goku. Fucking hell.
This legit feels like peak Moro arc right here.
Yes, it is for me. I love the finale, but this is fucking
Peak
peak.
Dragon Ball Super.
Yup.
You know what? I would say so. I would agree.
Like, when this shit gets animated, my gosh!
And yo, bro, I missed badass Goku so much.
That's what I'm saying. Badass Goku is the best Goku. Reminds me of freaking Xeno Goku from Heroes.
Oh, don't bring up Heroes. You'll get freaking Symbiote talking for now.
But yeah.
Madoshi, have you said your thoughts?
Huh? Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
The only Madoshi.
Oh yeah. No, I said yeah, pretty much. I just agreed with you guys. I mean, I can't put it in words that are any more entertaining than how you guys already said it. It was god tier. The shit was the best fight in Super. I don't know what else to say. It was awesome. The art was on point. I was really happy that they brought back the God Bind from Broly. Everything was just perfect. He nailed it.
Yup. Yup.
Well, now it's my turn. This has to be the best display of Ultra Instinct to date. And if you want to know how powerful Goku is, at this point, it's not the God Bind. Look at Whis. Look at his expression after Goku punches Moro in the air. That shockwave made Whis, who saw the Gods of Destruction in the exhibition match in this manga, he closed his eyes.
Yup. Yup.
Think about that. The Gods of Destruction were fighting at possibly their full power, and Whis didn't even flinch. Goku made Whis flinch. That's a feat. I don't care what anyone says, that's a feat in of its own. Goku has reached a level of power that I don't even think Beerus could beat him anymore. And I think Beerus knows this. I don't even think Jiren could beat him anymore.
Yeah.
Although the Jiren fanboys are going to come for me, but I don't think Jiren could touch Goku anymore.
I agree. I mean, the only reason Goku didn't beat Jiren during the Tournament of Power was because his body couldn't handle Ultra Instinct anymore.
Exactly.
He's mastered it. Jiren's finished.
This is a Goku who's trained his body in order to be able to use the abilities of Ultra Instinct. And the cool part about this is that in this same chapter, Goku makes his body even more sturdier.
Yes.
So if someone were to punch him, you're getting your arm broken. He's the real Man of Steel.
Yeah. Yes.
Goku is on a different level when he's in Ultra Instinct.
Yo, Goku is so strong, bro, that literally Moro absorbs like Miras's power, and Goku isn't even shook, bro. He's
Yeah,
like,
yo. Yeah, that's a perfect transition. That's a perfect transition.
Thank you for bringing that up
Yep.
because that's the next chapter. But I also want to say that is also kind of similar when Frieza went full power. Frieza went full power, right, in the Namek Saga.
Yep.
And Goku had a little bit of trouble in his Super Saiyan form, but he had it. He was gonna beat him no matter what.
Yep.
And this Goku doesn't even flinch at the sight of Moro using Mirror's ability.
Ooh, oh man, I'm getting hyped. Yo, all right, so
Alpha, bro.
yo, I'm getting hyped. So think about this. I'm gonna try to we got about 30 minutes left, right? So I'm gonna try to finish this by 11:10. All right, just saying. But either way, we only got like 3 chapters left. Anyway, so we should be good. Anyway, but Paul, that was the perfect transition, symbiote. I could not agree with you guys anymore. This is some alpha level shit. Peak DBS. This nigga Moro tries to kick Goku in the hand. And we'll talk about Goku. If you guys want to talk about Goku giving Moro senzu bean, we'll talk about it, in like just a couple seconds. But this dude Moro tries to punch Goku in the chest, and this dude Goku just stands there like, really, bitch.
He tries to pierce him, bro. He tries to pierce him again.
He tries to impale him. Yeah. Because he was trying to kill him in that shot. He was legit trying to kill him. And Goku's like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. So, of course we have the Goku giving Moro senzu.
Wait, guys, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I saw something in the chat that I have to say something about.
All right, you go for it.
Okay, so JD says in the Dragon Ball power scaling world, Ultra Instinct isn't an increase in power, it's a way to maximize ki pool and power of physical ki and ki projection techniques. And I think I can't really agree with that because you have to look at the chapter, right? Because you have to look at the chapter, right? UI Sign Goku gets like one-shotted by Moro 7-3, but perfected Ultra Instinct Goku can completely just destroy Moro 7-3. So it's like it's not just speed, it is power. Like Goku is much stronger in from perfected Ultra Instinct, compared to UI Sign. Like this is a fact. You see it in the fight against Moro, you see it in the fight against Jiren.
Yep.
It's
Like
there, trust me.
it's just a whole different level. Like the difference between UI Omen and Master UI is it's leagues. It's not just like a small increase. It's leagues stronger. We know Omen is strong, and the fact that Moro is able to one shot it just shows you how strong Moro actually is. But remember, UI Goku in Omen form gets defeated by Moro in one shot. But Master UI Goku, Moro breaks his hand trying to impale him in the chest. Just that's all you need. That should show you the difference between the forms, right? That's not a small increase in powers. That's that's times and times and times over an increase in power. But getting into it, right? We had the Goku. The only downfall, the only sour part about the Goku mastering Ultra Instinct is Goku giving Moro senzu bean. I'm just gonna throw it to you guys because I want to get through that as quick as possible and get to Goku versus Ultra Instinct Moro and then to the finale as quickly as possible. You guys, what was your thought on Goku giving Moro senzu bean? My subscribers, you guys have seen me do videos on this in the past, so I'm not really gonna say much. I don't like the decision, right? I don't think it was needed, even though Goku was in control the entire time. Like Goku knew what he was doing by giving Moro senzu bean. If you look. The panel where Goku gives Moro senzu bean is small. It's a small box. It's not a big panel, right? So, what did you guys think of the Goku giving Moro senzu bean? All right, you guys go.
I hated it, bro.
I hated
it, man. You want to talk about?
It was bullshit.
You want to talk about Miras and Goku like having extra time in the anime, like to build their friendship? Yeah, sure. Give them extra time. Make sure to cut this part out.
I agree. Yep.
This
I agree. The anime staff needs to cut it off,
bro. It's like, dude, this didn't even make sense in context of Goku's character by now. Like, there's no reason for Goku to give Moro a sense of being. First of all, in UI, there's no reason for Goku to even be having like this conversation with him. Like he should be like, "Oh, you're down. All right, get ready to die, motherfucker." Like think about all the shit that Moro did over the.
Dude, he freaking impaled Goku.
He impaled him, bro. Why would he even want to give him the chance to be forgiven? Like, no, man. We're past those days. This isn't the Cell arc. This isn't, the Frieza arc where he tries to give him a little bit of mercy. Like, no, we can't do that. Like, there's some guys that are just bad. Like, and it's just, it's so cringy, man. Like, really. Goku should be at a point now where he knows better. He's been through so much in his life, battled so many different opponents, so many different, threats. And Moro is the kind of threat that is, he can't even just threaten the Earth. He could threaten potentially the universe. Like, he's a very powerful being. So it's not like, oh, yeah, let me just let him go. Like, you put him in prison, he could get out. Like what is he, Batman? He just wants to let the Joker back into prison? Nah, it's cool. He ain't gonna break out. And then, like, 2 weeks later, he's out. Oh, well, I guess I gotta put him back in jail. Like, get the fuck out with that, bro. Like, that was legit one of the worst parts of this arc.
Worst part indeed.
Yep.
This could have made me stop reading Super.
I know. I remember you saying that.
Because Goku's way past that point. The only argument that I could see is that Goku wanted to test how powerful he was. But then again, that doesn't make any sense. Goku should already know how powerful he is in Ultra Instinct. Goku's so freaking powerful that he knows it. He knows it, and he doesn't even have to think about it anymore. His power speaks for itself now. He doesn't have to tell anyone, like, oh, hey, I'm this powerful in this form. I'm glad you're showing the chat because I think it's the next chapter. Or is it this one that Goku says that he trained his body in order to handle this? So Ultra Instinct is a power-up. It's not the other way around. It's a power-up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, like, why would he use Ultra Instinct if it's not stronger? Power up is you getting stronger.
All right, so I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents on the whole Senzu thing. My opinion on it has somewhat shifted since the chapter came out. At first, I was really annoyed by it, and I thought it was extremely stupid. And I still think it's stupid, but I don't mind it as much. I don't really think there was anything that Moro couldn't have done without the Senzu. I think either way, he still could have gotten that hand back and regenerated. I think it was Fitzmonk who said Goku was still in this.
Yeah, Goku was still in control. I just hate the choice.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I don't like the choice either. I'd rather it not have happened, but I'm just explaining why. Like, it doesn't bother me as much as I
agree.
As much as it used to. Like, the fact that Moro could have done all that shit without getting healed. The fact that I don't think it's completely out of character for Goku. And yeah, I don't know. It's something that, like, in rereading the arc and I'm reading like chapter after chapter, it's something that I'll go like, that's annoying, and I just read the next chapter. It doesn't bother me that much like it used to.
I think they could have done.
I would have preferred, honestly. Sorry to cut you off, but I would have preferred Moro noticing Senzu, and then just taking it with his magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would be better.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully when they adapt the arc, they take that part out. I don't think they will, but I hope they do. But yeah,
that's just my opinion. I feel like that would have been a much better choice.
For sure.
Yep.
I think it wouldn't have even been as bad. Goku would have just decided, okay, you know what? Like, maybe if Goku just didn't give him the sense of being at all, but maybe he like destroyed the rock. He's like, listen, you can't do nothing, and you know it. So you can either go back to prison or I can kill you right now. Like, if he would have said something like that, I would have been like, okay, maybe it still sucks, but at least it's not like, oh yeah, here you go. I'm just gonna fully heal you, let you have all your strength back, so that you can you can try to do something. Oh god.
Yep. No, I agree with you. They could have done without the decision. Even though Goku was in control, it's just the choice of it itself. Just like, come on, they could have done a little bit better. But moving on from that, like I said, I think that's like the only small part which I didn't like through these like last couple chapters. Then we get freaking Moro, right? I felt like either way, Moro would have just, took Mears' abilities anyways. He would have noticed, unless Goku, like, killed him right away, right? But we get Mears, or not Mears, we get Moro. He copies Mears' abilities, and then he puts them on his hand. So then we see, basically, Moro transforms, and he now has Ultra Instinct. But the fuck, I'm back to marking out again. Goku, in all his glory and badasses, badassness, he stands there and he has no reaction. This dude Jackal says, Goku, wasn't that the hand that Mirrors copied? Goku has no reaction. He just looks back at Moro and he's like, okay, you still gonna get this work. Even still, you see Moro grabs the sensu beans using telekinesis. He grabs the sensu beans that Goku had and just destroys them. And Goku's like, I don't care. Goku legit just closes his eyes and then he just goes into war with Moro. And then we get some, even the artwork still looks incredible. Incredible artwork, right? But the thing about it is, Goku still owns Moro throughout this entire chapter. Remember, this is Moro with the abilities of an angel. This is freaking Goku's going up against someone else with Ultra Instinct. That's what's crazy here. Freaking Moro has Ultra Instinct in these panels, and Goku still bodies him. Moro's able to get one hit on Goku. There's a line right where Moro, sends Goku into the freaking into the mountains. Goku gets up, and Moro says, I also have my magic, which gives me a leg up. Goku says, you think so? Try a little harder, bitch. I'm just like, whoa. And Moro's like, how are you still so calm?
Alpha line.
Freaking, yeah.
That was one of the most alpha lines.
That's what I'm saying. Moro says, how are you still so calm? I want you quaking in fear. Goku's like, I'm just gonna whoop your ass and not say anything. What were your guys' thoughts on this battle?
This is one of the best battles, hands down. These two battles back to back were one of the best in this whole saga.
Fucking
aside from Vegeta fighting Moro, these were one of the best. And this chapter alone also highlights that Moro does not understand how to use Ultra Instinct whatsoever. Him asking Goku, why are you still calm, shows he does not understand the properties of Ultra Instinct whatsoever. And that was his demise.
Yeah.
The sheer ignorance. That whole
the Dragon Ball fans, bro.
Exactly, the beard wankers. When the anime returns, hopefully, this fight is gonna be one of the best in television for Dragon Ball Super. I hope it has all the god tier animators, Takahashi, I want them all to return for this one because it's gonna look spectacular.
Yeah, this fight deserves it. I think everything from when Goku, when he reaches his mastered Ultra Instinct state, up until he defeats Moro, I think that whole portion of the story is the best fight in Super, and I think that deserves to have as much effort put into it as possible when it comes to animation.
It should be well presented in a very cinematic way, kind of like Gogeta versus Broly.
Yeah, I agree.
And then what's even better is that the animators are going to expand on this fight as well.
It's gonna be a longer fight.
Yep. A much longer fight.
Even though Moro's not gonna be able to touch Goku, but still, fuck it, it's still.
And if they do that, because in the manga, because in the anime they take liberties from the manga. So if they deviate even 1 inch from this by making Moro punch Goku here and there, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I can honestly see this being just like Gogeta versus Broly. Moro gets 1 punch and that's it. If you look at that battle, Broly got 4 punches in on Gogeta the entire battle. and it was like a 7 minute fight. Like I think that like that's crazy to think about. Moro should get one punch, maybe two in max, max. It's just gonna be Goku mollywopping this dude, mollywop.
Bro, he should punch Goku, and he should just like, and Goku should just pull a Gogeta from the Janemba movie, bro, and just say like, not even flinch, bro.
Facts,
That's what's happening.
Ooh, yeah.
facts. Kind of like what Frieza did in the Resurrection after Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Like badass
Yeah.
Goku here, but
It would have been
yeah.
so cool if like Goku had repeated that same technique, and then blew a hole in Moro's chest.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no,
god.
that's what I wanted, bro.
Yes, I wanted
what
Goku to
happened?
impale this guy. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get that, but still,
Dang, that would have been so sick.
yep. Yep, but this is great stuff. So of course we're almost done, almost done. You know,
Yeah.
maybe like 15 more minutes, guys, left in the stream.
I'm having a great time. So
I'm loving
Yeah, me
it.
too. But I gotta pee real bad. So.
Yeah, but so at the end here, right? We see Moro. So basically, Moro like he starts expanding because of the energy of mirrors, right? Because Moro didn't train for those angel powers. He's not able to handle them, so his body starts expanding. But Moro, he's delusional, so he doesn't believe that. It's like he refuses to accept that his body can't handle this kind of power. So eventually, we see I love this actually. We see Moro, he actually fuses with planet Earth. He fuses with planet Earth because he believes this is the way that, he won't he'll be able to handle the power of mirrors and be able to defeat Goku and absorb Earth at the same time. So then, tells him that, if Goku kills Moro right there, he'll also destroy the planet. And he also says that if Goku does nothing, the Moro will continue to expand, and that the planet will eventually explode, not only destroying the planet but destroying the galaxy as well. So we enter into chapter 66, right? So Beerus is about to lend some aid here, mainly because Beerus doesn't want to lose Earth because of the food, right? So it's more selfish. But thing is, what I love here, two things that I love about this is Goku still is mollywopping Moro. Even with Moro still fused with the planet, Moro can't do anything on Goku. Like we see Moro uses his magic to like freaking warp like 10 different like hands, and Goku's just fighting and gets all of them, dodging them, blocking shots. What I didn't like here is when Beerus is about to get involved, Beerus says, or not Beerus, Beerus fans, on fuck Beerus people everywhere, and I like Beerus. I love Beerus. I just wish he was more active. But the Beerus, fans were like, oh yeah, this confirms that, you know, what?
I wish it was less active.
Yeah, but Beerus fans were like, "Oh yeah, this confirms that Beerus is stronger than Master UI Goku." Just because Beerus said he'll land a hand, right? Let's do this quick. I believe that personally, if Beerus was to get involved, he would have just aided Goku. He was just gonna help him. He wasn't just gonna like Hakai Moro, and that was gonna be it, you know. But I hate it when because I got in so many arguments with Beerus fans that people tell me I'm a clown, I'm an asshole, just because I said that, there was no proof here that Beerus was stronger than Goku. There was absolutely no proof, but everyone believes so. So, before we get into the finale, what did you guys think of, the first part of this chapter?
I mean, listen, like I get it. People are always gonna say, "Oh, we've never seen Beerus at full power," but there's like literally nothing here to suggest that Beerus could have just killed Moro the way he said he would. Like it's the same thing with like Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Kid Buu. Like, right, he says at full power that he could kill Kid Buu, but could he? I mean, you could make the argument, but we never see it happen. So it's like, how can I definitively say that Super Saiyan 3 Goku is stronger than Kid Buu at full power? How can you say that Beerus is stronger than Master Ultra Instinct Goku?
We see Beerus at full power in the manga during the preliminary.
You know what? That's a good point.
So I don't see why like all these fucking Beerus stands are like, no, he's still super strong.
Beerus fans can't read, bro. I'm literally looking at this right now and they can't read. He literally says, "So let's make it quick." He was literally going in there to stop the hands from stopping Goku. In my opinion, that's all he was going to do. He was going to give Goku the opportunity to finish Moro. He even said this, so I'll lend a hand. He never says, I'll finish Moro. I don't know where Beerus fans are getting the idea that he was going to kill Moro. He literally says, I'll lend a hand. Let's make it quick.
Yeah, people just completely jumped the gun with that one. That's one of the things that I never really could appreciate about Dragon Ball fans. Sometimes they always
they can't read. Dragon Ball fans can read. Beerus fans can't read.
I agree.
Like, it literally says Beerus literally says, I'll lend a hand. He literally says, I will lend a hand. When you lend a hand to somebody during something or you're helping them with something, you're usually helping them. So he was obviously going to help Goku defeat Moro in some way, in some capacity. Was he going to kill Moro?
Say, no. Step out the way, Goku. I'll take care of this.
Exactly.
He said, let me lend a hand.
Exactly. He would have said that. You can even go back to the whole, like, when he killed Zamasu. Beerus literally says, I will do it myself. And so here in this situation, that's not the case. He's lending Goku a hand. So, I mean, I didn't mind this, and I don't think this in any way makes, Ultra Instinct Goku inferior to Beerus, because we have seen Beerus at full power. We've seen it in the manga. Not in the anime, but in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fair to say, even though Goku was having a rough time with all these hands, that doesn't make him any less powerful than Beerus. Yeah. I'll always say that Ultra Instinct Goku is stronger than Beerus, no matter what. Yeah. And if for some reason, I'm incorrect, we're incorrect, us as fans, then that's fine. But at least we'll be able to fully understand then how powerful these two are compared to each other now. And we'll have a good grasp on it. But for the first part, I don't mind it. I don't mind Beerus helping.
Yeah. And again, if ultimately it is, that Beerus is stronger than Master Ultra Instinct Goku, hypothetically, that I don't think that means, I don't think that changes the context of this that much, because in this context, in what we know now, there's nothing here that suggests that he is stronger. It just says that he's willing to help.
If Beerus was stronger than Ultra Instinct, then why did he get freaked out when Goku first tapped in?
Yeah. He flipped out multiple times.
Exactly. And when Goku actually achieved Ultra Instinct, Beerus flipped.
Yep.
Why would he flip if he's stronger? He's not.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah,
But I don't have a problem with this part of the chapter. The part I have a problem with will be coming up in a few pages.
All right, so let's get into the finale. So I'm gonna explain it, then I want everybody to give their opinions to the finale. All right, because we're gonna be wrapping this up in a little bit, so everyone can give their opinions, one by one. So we see Beerus and Whis, right, leave the planet because they get summoned by the Grand Priest, of course. So Whis tells Goku, to defeat Moro, you have to destroy the crystal in his forehead. So I like that because, it takes Beerus and Whis out of the story. Plus, Goku doesn't need Beerus' help here. He has Master Ultra Instinct. He has the power of the gods. Like what? We see them Vegeta here, right? Vegeta uses Spirit Vision, and I love how Vegeta comes in like Iron Man, like in the Avengers movies. I love this panel of Vegeta flying in. It's just awesome. And I told everybody that Vegeta didn't gain Spirit Vision to use for one chapter, right? He got it because it was going to be key in defeating Moro. And I loved how they used it here. Loved it, right? So just to speed things up, because I know I want everyone to get their opinions, because I got to end this soon.
Bro, that shot of Vegeta flying in to beat the shit out of Moro is one of my favorites.
It's beast. It's freaking beast, right?
It's one of the best shots Toyotaro has ever drawn, in my opinion.
I love it. I love it. So getting into it, right?
And he's in evolution, so geez, that just makes it even more better.
It look better. So let me speed this up a little bit. So Goku, right? We see Goku. He flies through the hands. I know a lot of people thought this was gonna be like where Dragon Fist becomes canon, but it didn't. So Goku got caught by Moro, and we see like because Moro was able to catch Goku here, he's able to absorb Goku's energy, and Goku goes back into base. We see the rest of the Z fighters come in, to help Vegeta to give their energy, but Goku gets the energy. He's only able to go back in the Super Saiyan Blue. We see Jackal. He goes over to wake up Majin Buu because they need him to get in contact with Oob because they need more God Ki, right? And I love the shading here. It reminds me of Toriyama and DBZ. So we see the big reveal, right? Oob is revealed that Oob has God Ki because when Evil Boo split from Majin Buu, the God Ki went to Kid Buu, but Kid Buu couldn't control it. But Majin Buu, he kept the appearance and the consciousness of the Daikaio Shen. So that's why Oob has God Ki, which sets up future Dragon Ball Super arcs. I love it. So Vegeta, right? Vegeta takes the energy and he basically, forms his own spirit bomb and gives the energy to Goku. Goku goes, full on Titan mode. Naruto fans, Attack on Titan fans got salty when they saw this, but this was absolutely beast. Then we see Goku, right? Goku creates like an avatar of himself. Goku then exits the avatar and he destroys Moro's crystal. They get the victory. Whis gets happy. He's proud that Goku got the job done. Goku gives the thumbs up. Huge Easter egg to the Buu saga. I love the finale. I loved how Goku, used Master UI to get the kill. I loved how they used Vegeta's spirit separation technique. I loved how Oob got involved, and it was revealed that Oob has God Ki because it sets up that Oob could potentially gain Ultra Instinct one day himself if Goku trains him. There's just so much to love here. The only thing I didn't really love is, how Moro at the end, right? He becomes so delusional that he forgets who he is in a way. More like Moro just becomes an ugly little bitch, So that that's the way I would put it. But yeah, you guys give your thoughts on the finale pretty quick.
All right, who's gonna go first?
You can go first, man. Oh, we're paused.
All right. Aside from the Avatar state,
just said I was gonna go first. What happened?
oh, you said you were gonna go first.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally stealing my thunder, bro.
All right. Ultra Instinct Paul, you go ahead.
Okay. So, just real quick, because I know Cynthia has a lot of thoughts. I love this. I love the ending. I love how everyone contributed. My only problem with this chapter is that Whis tells Goku how to people. Like, it's a little complaint, but it's like, dude, why? Like, that doesn't need to be there. Like, let Goku figure it out on his own.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I just want Beerus and Whis out the story like so bad. Honestly, I need them to get away from Goku and Vegeta for a while. But other than that, yeah, it was. I like the ending. I think it was pretty satisfying. Again, there was some. We hit some bumps in the road. Let's just say to get here, but I do think that Toyotaro did a good job. He kind of stuck the landing here, and I can't really say that. I can't really complain that much, honestly. All right, Symbioid, you go ahead. Or unless Madoshi's gonna go.
Brain.
I'll go. Yeah, I really liked the ending. I thought it was really dope. I think it was really cool how they incorporated Oob, because for a lot of Super, him fighting Goku just seems like it seems more with the context of Super. It doesn't seem as like plausible, I guess. But now that you have this context of him having God Ki and all this stuff, I feel like it makes that make a lot more sense later on during the 28th Tenkaichi Budokai when they actually meet. I like Goku's big, like, I don't know what it's called, like his big ki giant ethereal body thing. I thought that looked really cool. And a lot of people compared it to like Naruto. I've never seen Naruto, so I don't know. But I mean, personally, if it is taken from there, it doesn't really bother me since a lot of pieces of media have taken stuff from Dragon Ball and
Dragon Ball's always been known to like reference other stuff, so like, it doesn't really bother me that much. It looks really cool, so it's whatever. That's pretty much my thoughts on it.
Symbiote.
Let's hear what you got to say.
All right. Well, I love all your guys' points. I can tell how satisfied you are. But this is the worst, imagine.
Oh my God, yo.
So, in my opinion, I think I really admire that Toyotaro, which I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't like him. But I think he did a great job by making Vegeta MVP by assisting Goku. If Vegeta wasn't in this battle, if Vegeta was not there at the end, towards this end, if Vegeta wasn't there, Goku would have lost. Goku would have died. The planet would have died.
Yeah.
In some way, in my opinion, Vegeta helping Goku in the sense, helping him gather, the key and sending it towards his way, energy, that further reinforces the idea that in some ways that spirit separation was a much more useful. Now, Fitzmon, don't come for me. Separation of spirit was a much more useful technique. Ultra Instinct gets the job done, yes. But without spirit separation, Goku wouldn't have been able to beat Moro,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I don't have a problem with that.
And I also believe that, Oob being used as a secret weapon was the best thing that they could have done because he was hinted at the beginning of this saga
Yep.
when they discovered that Daikaio did not have his god power anymore. That is not terrible. That is incredible foreshadowing, and I'm pretty sure that's something that came for Toriyama. And the when Paul said that he had a problem with Whis telling Goku how to beat Moro, I'm gonna be honest, man. Goku's not supposed to think in Ultra Instinct, and we all know this. I'm pretty damn sure he did not think how to beat Moro. And Whis noticed it right away. Because if the power is stored in Moro's head, the obvious, thing to do would to be to break the stone, break the gem. But Goku was so overwhelmed by all the arms and the hands, couldn't think, or better, he shouldn't think, he couldn't realize it. So I don't mind Whis, helping just this one bit. But if they were to directly interfere, killing Moro themselves, I would have a huge problem with that. But, they didn't. They were sent away. The Grand Priest, was about to smack them. So, in my opinion, this chapter was pretty good. This was a good finale to the fight. For Goku's avatar, if I'm being honest, I don't really care for it anymore. I was really pissed about it when I saw he's gonna do this, but he won't do Dragon Fist. Okay, but time passed and I got over it. It's cool. I just hope I never see it again. I don't want to see a giant Goku. It was already scary enough.
Scary. I like the way you put it.
All right, listen. I'd love to stay around, but I'm about to start pissing my pants. I gotta go. Like I've been holding this in since we started.
All right, bro.
Thanks for having me on, though, Fitz
Damn,
Monk.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks. All right, see you guys around.
Yes, see, bro.
Later.
Alrighty, yeah.
Oh,
You know.
now we can talk bad about him.
Yeah, but I loved all your thoughts on the finale here. I loved the giant Goku. Even though I kind of wish we got Dragon Fist finally to become canon. Maybe one day. But you never know because we know Dragon Ball ain't going anywhere anytime soon. But still, man, I loved the finale. I loved Oob, loved Vegeta, loved Jack. I loved everybody having a role in it. But yeah, I loved it. Great finale to this arc, in my opinion. So, all right, we're gonna finish this off. So, I'm gonna ask you guys to give two more opinions, right, at the same time as we finish it off. So, of course, we see in manga chapter 67, right? We see the wrap up. We see everybody celebrate with a little meal. We see the Daikao Sen tells Oob that they're related, but Oob's, he has no idea yet who all these people are, but he will find out in the future, of course. But it's a happy ending. We see Eska goes back to Namek, and the Dragon Balls on Namek put everything back to normal. And then we also see the big thing here is that Mirrors is resurrected. Mirrors is resurrected as a mortal. At first, I was shocked that Mirrors was back, but the fact, let's be honest, death doesn't really matter in Dragon Ball. They're always doing happy endings. So I wasn't really surprised that they brought Mirrors back. But and the fact that he is immortal, it kind of makes sense because Mirrors wanted to be immortal, right? He wanted to be able to have a role in, protecting the galaxy. That's the reason why he interfered in the battle with Moro, knowing that he was going to get erased. So it kind of makes sense. Mirrors gets what he wants. Now he can, even though he doesn't have his angel abilities, what's stopping him from going back and relearning Ultra Instinct if he can't do it? You know what I mean? So I had no problem here. We also get to start the Granola Saga. So, this video isn't about the Granola Sagas, but I want you guys to give me. This is the last thing we're going to talk about, and I'm going to wrap things up. But what was your opinion, guys, on Mirrors being resurrected? And give me one prediction you have for the Granola Saga. Go.
Oh damn! Put it on the spot. Paul, do you want to go first?
Uh, Not really.
All right then. Well,
If you don't have a
Mirrors being
prediction,
resurrected.
it's okay.
Okay. Well, Mirrors being resurrected was an alright thing. I felt that it was rushed. I felt that that also ties to the whole there's no consequences to Dragon Ball because there's Dragon Balls or people can be brought back to life, and that takes a lot of the tension away. So that's why that's another thing why I wish we could just go past the end of Z already, but here we are still in 10-year time skip, but Mirrors being brought back just further adds more strong fighters to Universe 7. So I guess in the way the mortal ranking goes up, hopefully. I don't know. But I guess my prediction for the next saga, which I'm really excited about, I don't know why, I'm just really excited about it. My prediction is that I think Granola is a bounty hunter. And I think he needs 7-3 because I think he knows that particular 7-3, the original, has in his storage, he has Mirrors' abilities and he has Moro's abilities. And he's going to use 7-3 to conquer the universe in some way. Or something bigger is going to come because I think he looks like a Tuffle. I'm going to say it right now, I think Granola looks like a Tuffle. He reminds me of a Tuffle. Is he one? I don't know. Time will tell. But I think there's something deeper with 7-3 that he wants from him. And his scope that he has in his eye, I think it's an artificial intelligence, kind of like Jarvis from Iron Man, from the Marvel MCU. And I think that they're gonna scale Granola. He's gonna have some type of abilities, kind of like Hit's time skip, but something unique to that character alone that's gonna put him at Ultra Instinct Goku's level if he's gonna fight them. Or maybe there's another villain and he needs Goku and Vegeta's help, or he needs 7-3. He needs 7-3 in order to fight the villain. I don't know. But since it's so vague on who the character is and where we left off in this chapter, it just gets me even more hyped. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree with most of what he's saying. About the mirrors being resurrected, I would just say it's kind of one of those things that we talked about earlier with the lack of consequences. I feel in Dragon Ball Super. I do like mirrors, and I'm kind of glad he's still around. But again, I need to see them do something where there's like a long lasting effect. Like I feel like there's nothing that Goku and Vegeta are going to take from this arc that is going to carry over to the one after that, except obviously their abilities power wise. In terms of my predictions for the next arc, honestly I don't really know. Because there's so many questions involving Granola, and since we don't really know anything about him, it's hard for me to make an exact prediction about who he is or what he's gonna do or how he's gonna play into Goku and Vegeta's story. Um, but I don't know. The only thing I would say, maybe as a prediction, a bold one, is that Goku's so strong now that they need to kind of do something to keep him a little bit busy in this arc. I'm not saying he's not going to be there. He's obviously going to be there at the end. But maybe they'll do something where Goku's training or Goku's, kind of. Maybe you can see him training with Broly. Maybe that's going to keep him busy for a little
Yeah.
while Vegeta and them try to take care of things. And then Goku eventually realizes, you know what? These guys are in trouble. I need to get over there. But we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's a perfect way to wrap things up. Really, man. The Moro arc, whether you like it or not, it was something to talk about. We just had a, 3.5 hour conversation about it that flew by, but we just, it was amazing to talk about. And with the Granola saga, it's gonna be interesting. This is a character we haven't seen before. He's clearly not a Saiyan. We he's something. I don't think he's an angel. He could be a bounty hunter. He could be a scientist. He could be something. But I cannot wait to see, what they have planned for Granola. And, if it's going to involve 7-3, is he, does he want to use 7-3's power for something? Or is there a bigger villain out there? We don't know. But I'm excited to see where it goes, right? And I love how this arc is following directly after what happened with the Moro saga. I love that a lot. But other than that, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I'm gonna close out the stream here really quick. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. If you guys were here for the what?
I missed everything. Bronze, beat yourself, bro.
No, Bronze. I'll talk to you in just a sec. But yeah. But either way, like I said, you guys, if you guys were here for the stream, thank you guys so very much. If you guys are watching it afterwards, still, your viewership is very much appreciated. Thank you to Sal the Sayian. Thank you to Symbiote. Thank you to Paul. Thank you to Madoshi. Thank you for all my guests tonight. Thank you for the chat. Thank you guys for everything, man. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications. Follow me down on social media, down below. I'm gonna get out of here. Once again, I'll have more videos talking about the Moro arc and what's next with Granola and all that coming in the coming days and weeks. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. Have a great night, guys. Peace.
Bro, thank you. Sorry.